we bring you this week's flights and news with thanks to SayIntentions. We check out the Phenom 300E from FSReborn, and Raul joins us for an interview. And we have a look at NZA's upcoming Mount Cook Region 2.
Newsy snooze.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. Welcome to the news. I've broken 2 things already. Brilliant. Right, I've just seen it there in my vertical stream. It's all completely shagged from that other screen. I need to figure out what I broke. And I've also dialed back some settings over on the tube of view, which I also broke. No! Welcome. Hope you're having a better day than I am. But anyway, don't worry about it. You see, friends, tonight we get to check out all the week's flights and news with thanks to SayIntentions, and very much looking forward to inviting Raul onto the stream so we can all just listen to the genius that is Raul and FSReborn and everything that they've put into this Phenom. Because I gotta say, it's absolutely brilliant. So we're going to be checking that one out. I also need to show me NVIDIA settings, so I'll go through that as well, because Givo said, Murph, show us your settings. I was like, I can't you have buttons. So we'll do that as well. Brilliant. We also have some brand new scenery soon to be released from NZA Simulations, and it is an update to their Mount Cook version 2, is what they're calling it, the Mount Cook region. And it's actually a pretty special scenery, because this is where the trailer for the FSR 500 was created. To use this as the backdrop, so I found it very fitting that a version 2 of the scenery is going to be released very soon from NZA, and we're here with the Phenom to check it all out. So yes, it's going to be a busy one. There's plenty of stuff to go through, to talk about, and the stuff. So we'll take it one step at a time, shall we? You're very welcome in, lads. Mac Vision, good to see you. APU Inspector is in the house. Welcome aboard. Vacuum is here. Idle Cutoff, Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. It's someone turn on the switch. It's 15 degrees Celsius here, and it's to go that way for the next few days. Still raining, but it's like it's warmer. Do you know, a hoodie was probably not the best choice, but we'll see how we get on. Frozen Gamers in the house. The Boise, a very good evening. Super Typhon, hot as feck, he says. 29 degrees Celsius. Jesus. North Coast Mike, good evening. DK Funfly, 190 streams in a row. Thanks very much, buddy. Amazing supportage. Sumner is in the house. Happy News Day. Liptorius is here. Good to see you, man. Yes, Bell Bro, happy Wednesday. Heisenberg is in the house. Very happy Wednesday to you. Norse Viking. Finally, some Phenom news. Yes, been looking forward to this. So far, I think the reception has been absolutely incredible. For the vast majority of users, we just love it. For a fair few users, they're a little bit lost, as in, I think I broke it, right? And then a tiny amount of users are saying it's broken. So hopefully we can address all those things tonight. I will say, it is a complex aircraft, but once you have it kind of set up right, you can just do what you want, really. There's no consequence if you don't want it. So we'll go through all that this evening when Raul joins us. Willow, how much? Good to see you, bud. Hope you're well. Commander Bolosh is in the house. Welcome in, buddy. Mech Manser is here. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH, hope you're well. Muse Fan, he says how he is, his mad jokes, his happy hump day. Good to see you, Muse. Spitfire RAF 100 is here in the chat. Happy Wednesday. Nick is here. Good evening. Ryan is in the house. Chalks, tier 1 for 49 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Chalks, you're very kind. Drummer, welcome aboard. And Chalks has 45 streams in a row, look. Jesus, 45 streams in a row. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Sean Dale blast through the door. 44 months with a Prime subscription. He says, I've been having too much fun for too long. Thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. Eamon 1973, you're very welcome aboard. Hope you're well, Eamon. Happy Wednesday. Sunjammer, he says, evening all. Time for all small hands to unite. Wait, what? Why and who? And, you know, Jesus. Buttons have been pressed at an alarming rate. Who was that? Bloody does buttons? Frankenstein, Steiny, absolute mad divilya. Steiny pressing buttons there in the background. 10 gifted tier 1 subs just to start us off. Steiny, thank you very much. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, with thanks to Frankenstein, do be sure to say thank you. He's terribly nice and extremely generous. You're very kind, sir. Tarnish Mossman is here. Welcome in. Nutty Slack, good evening. Ozzy Mandius is here. Creo, a very happy Wednesday to all in County Mayo. Gibbo Ireland is in the chat. Good to see you, Gibbo. Hope you're keeping well. We'll go through those settings now in a moment. Eamon is on a 215 stream streak. Eamon spent the last 215 streams taking the... Jesus! Buttons and lights and sounds. Eamon spent the last 215 streams taking the Dennis Hickey out of me. Jesus, look. Foxfly Pete, you absolute mad devil. Did you see what he did? He said, hang on a second, hold my beer. 20 gifted tier 1 subs. He just did 20 of them. Bloody hell. Steiny with 10 and now Foxfly Pete with 20 gifted tier 1 subs going out to the community here on Twitch. Fox, dude, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Foxfly Pete, do be sure to say thank you. The man is incredibly generous. What's going on? You need to behave yourselves. It's only Wednesday. Jesus. First sign of that, you know, nice weather, I suppose. You're very kind. Viper Strike is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Tarnish Mossman 5 in a row. Cheers, man. Who else came in the door now? Proby Pete is here. He says, happy hump day, Murph and Fireflies from Arizona. Yes, Arizona. You're very welcome in. Hello from Tipperary. Right, where's this now? Now. Buttons, Drummer, Gunners. Wait, they're talking about Arsenal again. Now let me see. The Damer Anian, welcome in. He says, good evening, Murph, and from the deepest, darkest Cornwall. It can't be that bad. You're very welcome in. Photos by Kev is here. Hello, Kev. Hope you're well. Where's this now? Something you... Wait now. Ah, no, says Super Ty. Something you should fear coming out of Murphy's mouth. Yeah, I do break things all the time. All the time. Words can't explain it. All I know is I've broken things. Just Roy is in the house. Roy, very good evening to you. The man has been flat out building things in the background. Happy Wednesday, Roy. Cornwolf is here. A very good evening. Hope all is well. Goblin Zeus, good evening to you, buddy. Angry Bee is here. You're welcome in. Tarnish says there's an update for the Typhoon. Ooh, we'll have to check it out. Sunjammer, thank you very much indeed for 10 in a row. So once again, you broke stuff again. Yes. Blinky, good evening. Hope you're well. Stu Snape has rambled into the chat. A very good day to you, Stu. Hope all is well. A Crotty is here. Welcome. Cy120, enjoying the Phenom. Yes, some say it's phenomenal. Do you remember that song? Phenomenon. Do, 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 do. That'll be stuck in your head now. Jesus. There's more things happening. Sumner, from Naples in Florida, no less. Sumner has gifted 5 tier 1 subs into the chat. Sumner, you're very kind. Thank you very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub from Sumner, do be sure to say thank you. It's a level 7 hype train. Bloody hell. I didn't do... What he is like. It's all going nuts. Right. Crazy. Thank you very much. You're very kind. Bloody hell. It's nuts. Where was I? I was over here. The police aren't working. What, me lights? I don't know what I've done. I'll figure it out though. I've an idea what I broke. I just need to go back and fix it. Because I was having issues yesterday. But, we'll see what happens. You know me. It'll be grand until, sorted out me Toby having the DTs, installed OpenTrack and mapped Toby through that. Kev, that's exactly what I've done, and it works 1,000 times better. The only thing, if you have... I found there's a conflict with a button. And I think it's like, it's to do with either VR or something else. It's like a little reset button. You might find a conflict, but if you only have one button that either resets and then another button to turn it on and off, you should be grand. We shall see. Foxfly, thank you very much indeed, and good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Malky is here, currently flying for the Firefly Virtual Airline Caravan over to Cags. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely fantastic out in Georgia. Pieman Jim, thank you very much indeed for 10 months with the Prime subscription. Very kind of you, sir. Then Steiny jumped in with 10 gifted tier 1 subs. Like a boss. Oh, mother of J's. There are things happening. Why is there buttons? I don't know what to say, but there's buttons. Jesus, who was that now? Old Veteran 965 in with 10 gifted tier 1 subs to the community on Twitch. What an absolute ledge. Scott, you're terribly kind. Bloody hell. Did you see what he did? Phenomenon. Right, that's the phenomenon. Scott, thank you very much. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Old Veteran 965, well, do be sure to say thank you. That's insane support. What is going on tonight? Who's in charge? What's happening in the universe? We're not worthy. We're not worthy. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Anyway, Jesus. Scott is here. He says, howdy y'all, happy hump day, and day to learn more about the FSR 300 and the creator, Raul. Yes, it's going to be fun. Scott, thank you very much indeed. Zard is here, good evening. A. Crotty subscribing tier 2 for 15 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. What a ledge. Cheers, buddy. Where is this now? Dennis C, good evening. Hope you're well. All is well in the realm. Flying Tonight is here. Hope you've all had a phenomenal day. I see what you did there. Did this. Right. Brilliant. Now, let me see. Then Fox jumped in with friggin' 20 tier 1 subs. Look, Jesus, lads. Jefferson 2001, the man, myth, and legend himself, has rambled in with news of the realm. He says, very good evening, Murph and chat. Hyped for tonight's stream. So, lads, in case you didn't know, Jefferson is the genius who enabled the life of all the FBO stuff that we see from the Phenom. Himself and Raul sat down over about 17.5 pints of Guinness. Raul drank Jesus! Raul had a few glasses of, milk. To bloody hell, Black Sheep Gene is over on Twitch, which doesn't make any sense at all, and he just gifted 10 tier 1 subs. What is going on? That's an alarming amount of subs before we even start. Who's in charge? That's a level 8 hype train complete. It's halfway through a level 9. Lads, I mean, come on. We didn't even get to the music yet. I didn't even, do a close-up of me face or anything. Right? Bloody hell. Black Sheep Gene, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you just... I don't know what to say. If you just got a tier 1 sub, there'll be tears now in a minute. If you just got a tier 1 sub from Black Sheep Gene, do be sure to say thank you. What an absolute legend. You're very kind. And look at this other messing going on here. Jesus. Heisenberg. Heisenberg. Jesus. You fell on your wallet again. Say nothing. Heisenberg has gifted 10 tier 1 subs into the chat as well. This is ridiculous. It's nuts. It's behaving yourselves. There'll be consequences. What's what they used to say? There'll be wigs on the green. Do you remember that when you were younger? Or if you fall off and break your legs, don't come running to me. All these kind of, They were said to confuse us, Heisenberg, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Heisenberg, do be sure to say thank you. What an absolute legend. Bloody hell. I know, Super Ty, it's gone absolutely bananas. Right, can we get a word in edgeways? Jefferson, yes. So all the work went in from Jeff. And amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Airlock Doc is here. Very good evening. Hope you're well. Let me see. Jan is here. You got a gifted sub. And there's one for everyone in the audience. It is absolutely mad tonight. Right, get that man a beer, right? I stumbled over the wrong button. Uh-oh. Now, need an auctioneer to start the hype. It's mad. It's mad. Anyway, moving on. Californication is in the house. Welcome in. Titans of Roads, good evening. The Impossible Face, 30 degrees Celsius in this flat. It's cursed. I'm at 20 degrees here inside in the man cave at Murph Manor. You know, Gibble got me a present of a reg plate that says, you big Egypt. So whenever I look at the time or the temperature, I'm always reminded I'm a big Egypt. I should move that. Didn't think that one through. But anyway, the Homewrecker is here. Good evening, Homewrecker. Welcome in. No Discord notifications. What? Did I break board shagging things? Oh, look, there wasn't a friggin' thing. Why is that now? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm sure everyone knows we're here. But if we're not, I'll press the button. Live now, I'll say. Stupid notifications. I've no idea what happened. No, Jesus. I've no idea what happened. There's more things happening, look. Bloody hell. Soaring AJ. 5 gifted tier 1 subs going out to the community. Soaring AJ, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub with thanks to Soaring AJ, do be sure to say thank you. Soaring as in flying, not soaring. You see, thank you very much indeed. I put out a yoke that said I'm live now. Brilliant. Jesus, lads, there's buttons going on everywhere. There's a level 10 hype train. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's gotten into you at all. This sort of behaviour in the middle of the week, you know. It's weird. Bloody hell, there's more of it, look. Jesus. Stu Snape. Lads, this is getting ridiculous. Stu Snape has gifted 5 tier 1 subs to the community here on Twitch. Lads, if you've got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Stu Snape. Do be sure to say thank you. Stu, you're very kind, buddy. Bloody hell. And then Black Sheep Jean over on the tube of you, look, he just gave the $50 super chat. $50! And then he says, phenomenon, do-do-do-do-do, phenomenon, do-do-do-do. We're going to be stuck saying that all night. Swinger, baby. Bloody hell. Did you just see what happened now? Jane, thank you very much indeed. You're terribly kind. Right. And then Dazza. Put the car in swinger, baby. Jesus, then there's no need for me to be here at all. Yeah, right. It's just gone feckin' nuts. Dazza, the mad devil. Dazza gifted tier... I can't get a word in. Dazza gifted 5 tier 1 subs to the community here on Twitch. Dazza, thank you very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Dazza, do be sure to say thank you. What an absolute legend. Swinger, baby. Mother of Jade. What's going on? Then, there's more of it. You need to stop. Cut it out, really. They be thinking I'm some sort of a phenomenon. Do you know? The car in swinger, baby. This isn't ending. Maybe it's a terrible joke or something. Haha, Murph, we were only messenger. Wait, what? Bloody hell, I can't keep up. The Boise then. Lads, this is insane. The Boise with 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you very much indeed. And if you got a tier 1 sub from the Boise, he's probably in a hotel right now. But do be sure to say thank you. What an absolute legend. And then Homewrecker jumped in because he's mad. And he said, hang on a second. 5 gifted tier 1 subs coming in from Homewrecker. Lads, Jesus. What's going on? We can't get words in. There's people sitting there going, what the hell is this thing, this fella on Twitch? I don't know. I didn't do anything. I'm as innocent as you are. Jesus. Homewrecker, if you got a tier 1 sub... English Murph, with thanks to Homewrecker, do be sure to say thank you. What a legend. And then Jesus, Mayo has to outdo Cork. Look, Creo jumps in then, be Jesus. Creo in with 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the community as well. Creo, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Creo, do be sure to say thank you. The man is an absolute ledge. I've lost where we're going. Oh, we're over here, look. Jesus, look. And then, did I catch up? And then photos by Kev. Jesus, Kev, what did you do? Kev gifted 10 tier 1 subs into the community just as if it was Wednesday. Wait, it is Wednesday. Kev, thank you very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub with thanks to photos by Kev, do be sure to say thank you. What an outlandish mad start. We love you, Fabio. Dazza, you have words. I nearly shouted something like, hang on, I'll do it again. Dazza, you big Brilliant. You do miss Fabio, though, don't you? Right, you're going to break him. I'm nearly shagging broken. Where was I? Was over here. Right, come on now. Get the show back on the road. Level bleeding 12, look. Titans of Road is here. Good evening. Jesus. Emerald, welcome aboard. Uniform Goose. Good day, Goose. Hope all is well. Mr. Alaska is here. Jesus, there's buttons. Rock View. Good to see you, Rock. Light Bison is here. Welcome aboard. Jesus, now it is getting out of hand now, lads, though, isn't it? You know. What did you do last night, Murph? Tonight, he just sat there and people were like, you know, throwing things. They were throwing it at him, horsing it into him. Brilliant. Cyrus T, you mad thing. He just gifted 5 tier 1 subs to the community here on Twitch. Unbelievable support, lads. Thank you very much, Cyrus. Thank you, buddy. And lads, if you got a tier 1 sub tonight from Cyrus, do be sure to say thank you. I reckon everyone has gotten a friggin' tier 1 sub at this stage, haven't they? Do you know? Is there anyone else there without a sub? Jesus. Right. Where was I? Oh yeah, it was over here, look. Summoner, I can see your alerts now. That's just incredible. There's Dazza in the chat. Let me see her now. We're catching up. Andy Brown is here. Good evening, Andy. Hope you're well. Big Al is in the house. Good to see you. V Pilot is in the house. Jesus, then there's more buttons going on here. I can't be dealing with this. It's all buttons. Where are we at? Oh, mother of Jesus, there's more things on my screen happening. And he's always having issues.
Swinger, baby.
There's more of it. Dennis C with 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the community as well. You lot are on terrible. Do you know that? We're making a stand. That hurt my hand. He's terrible nice. But thank you very, very much indeed. You're very kind. Dennis C, thank you very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Dennis C. Well, do be sure to say thank you. English now, you know. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, Strap is here, Ola. Good to see you, buddy. And then the buttons. Bloody hell, we've buttons coming in there now, lads, at a rate of knots. We've buttons there now coming in from Old Veteran. Thank you very much indeed. Where's this now? Fat Rat is here, thank you very much. Tier 1 for 3 months in advance. The man is optimistic. We like optimism. Thank you very, very much, buddy. Drummer, who doesn't like their buttons pushed? It is really mad. It's mad. Debo Fly is here from Southern California. Good evening. Due to gifted subs, the news will be a little bit later on. Isn't it gone nuts? Then Black Sheep Jean jumped it in with loads of them. Anov is here, good evening. Derek is here, good evening. I got ripped off by British Airways flights. £88 to sit next to me better half. I didn't care what seat I was in. It could have been a quiet flight to Switzerland. Last time we booked through British Airways, they put us on an Aer Lingus plane at the back and I had no window. You can imagine now how much of a Karen I became. Well, I said in me, Karen voice, this is preposterous. I don't agree with this at all. Customer care.
Karen Swinger, baby.
This is getting out of hand. Lads, what's happening? Yous are all gone nuts this evening. Is there something in the water? Did Scott make his famous chili again? Was Muse fan busking outside the Twitch? What's going on? There's buttons. Fat Rat is in with 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the community here on Twitch. Fat Rat CSB, thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. And lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Fat Rat CSB, well, do be sure to say thank you. It's terribly generous from these lads, terribly. And well, the whole idea is they give you gifted subs. That means there's no ads. That's brilliant. I should do my own ads. What can I sell? Hang on, we need like music or something for this. Wait now. Introducing the multicolored biro. Beautifully engraved, the design of this pen I think it'd be very good at advertising. You too can look like a Muppet. Phenomenon. Boop, boop, doo, doo. Say no more, say no more. Right, now, Jesus, we're catching up. Then with Heisenberg, Fornax is here, good to see you, bud. Jesus, there's a good chance I'm going to miss someone. Piku, good to see you. Mag is in the house, welcome aboard. Who else? Geo Satfly is here, good evening. A very hot Thailand. Ooh. Mountain Man, welcome aboard, good to see you, buddy. Two Dogs, Jesus, there's more of it. Two Dogs is here, good evening. Martel, good evening. Then Soaring AJ in with the buttons. Fly Lilo is in the chat. Good evening to you, buddy. If Gibbo doesn't remind you, You know your mods will. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Scott. Larry's here. Did someone break the live bot? I don't know, Larry. I had to press a button to tell everyone I was live. And thank you very much indeed for 23 months. This is ridiculous tonight. What's going on? Then Stu jumped in. Crafty Tiger's good to see you. Jesus now. Then Dazza jumped in. Love you, Fabio. Then the Boise jumped in. Bloody hell, lads. I'm trying to catch up. Paparazzi jumped in with a tier 2 sub for 58 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. Lads, I can't get over the support tonight. I am live, Al. Wait, shag off. I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. A level 13 hype train, though. Jesus. And then Creo jumped in after home record. That's absolutely incredible support, lads. These are nuts. Absolutely nuts. He'd be getting emotional. Yeah. I don't get emotional. There's just something in my eye. Now, let me see. Buttons, refunds, no. Shag off, no refund. Sorry, lads, that button's broken. Then Kev jumped in with 10 of the shagging things. Look, Jesus. Wait, now, all a plan to stop Murph talking. Wait, it's all a plan. Oh, wait, I never thought of that. There's more buttons being pressed. Bloody hell. Iowa Scotsman is here. Good evening. Hope you're well. You can tell there's no sport on tonight. Paddy Power will be disappointed. Robbie613, good evening. Then Cyrus jumped in. Max Stallion is here. Good evening. Jesus. Toto2495. It's your man on the telly. It's good to see you, Toto and Mrs. Toto. A very good evening to the both of you. Hans Gruber is in the house. Prime sub for 47 months. Hans, it's very good to see you, buddy. Hope you're keeping well. Bloody hell, this is crazy. Sheffy is here. Good evening. You would think that he designed the FSR 300 the way folks are throwing money at him. Yeah, right. I should have said, yeah, mother of Jesus. But, I mean, you know, this is getting ridiculous. Dennis C then jumped in, and then with more buttons. Tarnish Mossman's, is it news night or sub night? I don't know what it is. Fierce Wolf, welcome in. Toto2495 gifting 10 tier 1 subs to the community over here on Twitch. Toto, thank you very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Toto, do be sure to say thank you. And there's stuff happening on YouTube as well. Mother of God. Mother of J. Who's in charge? Why is this happening? What have we done to what has happened? You know, what has happened actually? Then Fat Rat came in with his. Well, do you know what, lads? I might as well go home. Wait, I am home. You know, every time he tries to start to talk, shut him up. Shut him up. Don't let him talk. Jesus, there's more of it. There's more of it. Old veteran then. With 10 gifted tier 1 subs on Twitch. Jesus, God. And then Black Sheep Jane. Jane did it again, look. Bloody hell. Another $50 donation for... What's going on? We're all going to Vegas. Way. Well, you know, I'll go and sure, I'll take pictures. Right? Jesus, what's going on? This is ridiculous. Oh, the pints are on Murph. Yeah, pints of water. Yes. Did I not tell you I'm miserable? Misery. That's Murphy. It rhymes with it. Murphy, miserable. Work hard on it. Jesus. What's going on? 147 subs. Mother of J. What's going on? This is all too... I mean, you know... So, do you come here often? Yeah, right. Jesus. Mech Manser then. He said, hang on a second, I'll add to the drama that is the midweek soap opera. He gifted 10 tier 1 subs, look. Jesus. Mech Manser, thank you very much indeed. Lads, if you've got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Mech Manser or Old Veteran, I will do be sure to say thank you. Insane support. You're absolutely nuts and insane and it's crazy and it's mad. Thank you very, very much indeed. You're terribly kind. I don't know what you're expecting to happen now, you know. Murphy, take control of your life, will you? You know, finally sort yourself out. Okay. You know, but unbelievable support. Thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, you shouldn't have. You're absolutely brilliant. Jesus.
I put the car in swinger, baby.
Jesus, there's more of it. Belbro, how dare you? That's why I should have done that from the start. Reverse psychology. How dare you do that? But thank you very much. Belbro, you're very kind. 5 gifted tier 1 subs coming in from Belbro. Jesus, look. Absolute crazy. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Belbro, do be sure to say thank you. It's now 22 degrees in my room. The heat! Right! Right, the whole thing has increased itself by 2 degrees. It's getting hot in here, right? Oh, Jesus. Right, we're over here now. Liam, good to see you. What do you mean small gloves? Now, let me see. The pen was huge in the tiny hands. Wait, what? This could all be... You know, I'm awake. Imagine if it was... Right. Murphy, but you didn't stream last night. Huh? But I had this dream. Jesus. Just Roy is in with 10 gifted tier 1 subs. The generosity on this channel is absolutely crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Bloody hell. Roy, thank you very, very much indeed for 10 gifted tier 1s.
Swinger, baby.
There's no end to this. There's no end to it. Roy, lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Just Roy on final, do be sure to say thank you. Incredible support. And then Tenured said, hang on a second, hold my beer. He gifted 5 tier 1 subs to the channel here on Twitch. Tenured, thank you very, very much indeed. And lads, just again, if you get... or if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Tenured, do be sure to say thank you. What is going on tonight? Is there absolutely mad? Mad, I tell you. Vasco is here, good evening. Hermit something, very good afternoon to Boston. Hope you're well. Mrs. TPHI is lurking upside down. Mugan is here, good evening. Lenny Brooks, I've a feeling Murph will be selling pens next week. How did you... I mean, right. We all want a free lanyard for the support. Wait, we already have about 20 each. Will you shag off, Stu? Jesus. There is something not... Well, there's something in the water. Yes, that's what it is. Do you know what would be hilarious? Never thought of this. And imagine... You know the way I'm... Do you know the way I break stuff all the time? Imagine if that was like... the alert for either someone tuning in or maybe someone hitting the...
Swinger, baby.
Or someone hitting the like button, right? Or someone hitting maybe like, you know, a follow. But in the back end where I arrange everything, instead of putting that line to that line goes to that line and it's all the sub alerts. Right? Could you imagine? Jesus! I'd have to be playing something like Radiohead at the end of the stream, you know? That'll bring you right. Bloody hell. This is mad. Jamie G, thank you very much indeed for 5 gifted tier 1 subs. And lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Jamie G. Everyone's gotten one on... Everyone in the world has gotten a sub. Jamie, thank you very much indeed. And then Idle Cut Off. Bloody hell. He jumped in with 5 gifted tier 1 subs as well. Unbelievable support. What is going on tonight? Thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, they're terribly kind. It's getting emotional now. Why? I'm after hitting me toe. Jesus, nearly did. You're terribly, terribly kind. But thank you. Thank you very, very much indeed. You're nuts. Don't know what to make of all of this. I'll just sit here and look pretty. No, didn't work. Right. I'll just sit here. Bloody hell. Right. Where is this now? Toto said I'm feeling left out. Then he gave 10. Then Scott jumps in with 10. It's like there was a brawl. There was a big, massive brawl in the middle of the chat. Bloody hell. Sub war for Raul to prepare. Right? Bloody hell. Then Mech Manser jumped in. My screen can't keep up with this shagging thing. Raul's looking at this watching. I'm going to need to get to bed at some point. Yeah. The news is going to have to... There's more things happening. The news is going to have to be very fast. The news tonight, lots of things happening, some things not happening. See you next week. Right, Jesus. Bellbro, thank you very much. I can see all that coming through here now. Just Roy then. 777's in the house, good evening. There's Roy. Matt, welcome in. Jesus, it's going to get the plane landed before the intro's over, I'm telling you. Right, then Tenure jumped in. Just sit back with a beer, Murph, I'm telling you. Lads, this is nuts. He can't get a word between them, right? It's a belated first year full-time anniversary. You're very good, Roy. Thanks very much. Jamie G, thanks a million. Jays, have I entered the chaos? Yes, you have, 777. We're all here together. Plastic? Idle Cut Off in then. Jesus, lads, it's ridiculous. We're catching up, though. I just want to make sure I haven't missed anyone in the chat. Probably Pete with 1,000 bits. Look, Jesus. Don't you dare short rift, Raul. I won't. Shift, not rift.
Oh, behave.
There's more crazy happening. Probably Pete with another 1,000 bits. Jeez, lads, I don't know. There's serious things happening here, and I don't know what they are. Why isn't this chat working? I've broken it, everything. Ah, no, it's not working, look. Stupid thing is shagged. Right, I need to go over here to say hi to all the YouTube lads because the Twitch just got completely out of hand and you all went nuts. And now I don't know what to do. Right, will we go to another screen? Please, Murph, get on with it, will you? I can hear you, sitting down the back there. Right, we'll do this now. Oh, Jesus. We'll do this now, look. Now, Asher, look. Familiar territory. And why is that shagging camera on? I wonder now why the back of my head cam is on. That shouldn't be there. Sure it shouldn't. Wait now, lads. Wait now. Should that be... No. 360. I know what I did wrong. Don't worry, lads. I'll fix it. If I close that and close that. Yes. Close all of these things because you have broken them many times. For you are a complete and utter muppet. Don't worry, lads. I'm just talking to myself here. Right, now, let's see. We'll fix this by doing one of those. And if I do this... Wait now. Yes, if I do one of those... Oh, Jesus, no. Put you over there. Right, that's fixed that screen. And now I need to fix this screen. And everything else, I think, looks okay, doesn't it? We're 43 minutes in. We're still on the ground. Epic, don't start, will you? The night we're having. Right. Ooh, now, right, I think we're live now. Bloody hell, look at the messing that went on over on YouTube, look. Bloody hell. Black Sheep Gene, you absolute mad ticket, you. $100 in a super chat. That is ridiculous. Thank you very, very much indeed. Unbelievable. Amazing support, lads. Thanks so very much indeed. You're too kind. I've earned my keep for the night. I'm going to finish early now. Good luck to you. I'm only messing. Thank you very, very much indeed, though. Yous are nuts, honest to goodness. But thank you. It is very, very much appreciated. You're very, very kind. Oh, bloody hell. Right, what are we doing? Oh, yeah, we're doing this. Right, now, first and foremost, Gibble wanted to see me settings. So I'll bring up... That's not them. I'll bring up my NVIDIA app settings. Right, Big Al, come over here because Twitch was too crowded. It's busy kind of across the board everywhere. Right, Gibbo, you wanted to have a look at me settings. Now, I've two things of settings, but you'll see here, right? So, Flight Sim 2024 inside the NVIDIA app, right? So, if you want to, well, you can pause this and then screenshot it, I suppose, right? I'll leave it over there so you can see the gadget. So, I haven't allowed the NVIDIA app do anything. These are my settings, though, so you'll actually see all the current value settings, right? And I was doing some experimentation today. I'm getting these sound pop crackling things coming through, and it's not through OBS. It's just the way the sim is causing all this crackling stuff, right? And I said, right, look, I'll turn off the hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, or HAGs, thinking that'll solve it. And do you know what? It did. The problem, it means you can't have frame gen. So I very quickly turned it back on again. Do you know what I mean? So these are all me sim settings mixed with NVIDIA. But as I said, I haven't changed anything with NVIDIA when it comes to Microsoft Flight Sim settings. And these are also available over on our Discord. What I have changed in here was the DLSS override. We're using the FG Use 3D application and I have it to custom and we horse it all the way up. It's like, see this one? Fixed multiplier times 6. On a 5090, this is working superbly well. Your mileage might vary, but that's where mine is at. They're the only two things I've changed. Of course, I prefer maximum performance when it comes to the power management mode. All right? Is it a Rice Krispies issue? Do you know the way snap, crackle, and pop? Very good. But yeah, it kind of is. But I've tied it down. It's only loading in photogrammetry and an aircraft at the same time. You get this crackling noise, right? And I've tried everything. I still can't figure it out. There's also talks about a RTX 5050. Really? Interesting. So they're my NVIDIA settings. In the NVIDIA control panel, that's what I tend to use. I'll show you this briefly. It's going to match the same thing. I pretty much leave everything to default. My shader cache, I keep it on unlimited. And what's the other gadget? The power management mode, global settings, maximum performance. I want maximum performance of the GPU at all times. some people say this is just like it doesn't really work. It does work. It does work. If you keep this imbalanced, what will happen is when Windows see the GPU going too high too fast, it doesn't necessarily throttle it, but it'll push the CPU higher. So at least if you go, look, give me maximum performance, don't restrict any power, it'll look after it. You will see significant performance increases setting your GPU to this. All right. So. What's your take in AMD settings? Abdul, I'm not using AMD. Well, I'm using AMD for the CPU. Everything there is default. I haven't touched anything with the Ryzen 7, is it? Haven't touched anything in there. All right. My RAM is turned up. I've like 6,000 mega transfers on my RAM. That's the frequency cranked up. But that's it. Do you know? So. That's the NVIDIA side of the house, all right? Now, what we have here, of course, yes, this is the FSReborn Phenom, or the FSR 300E, and we're going to be chatting to Raul here shortly. He was going out for a while, so we probably have a few minutes before he's back. Or he'll message me and say, Murphy, you're keeping me up late at night. Would you ever get on with it? So we need to get on with it. I don't want to delay him because I know he's been very busy, right? Now, we do have some news tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We do have some news. So we're going to start off with the news. Now, before I get there, I also have some other buttons to press. Where is Al Kieran? There he is. One of those. I'll get back to that now in a minute. No, wait, hang on. Go back to. Oh, Jesus, I'm after breaking it. Go back to. Yes. And go back to there, and I'll show you all this now here in a moment. Right, we're going to start off at the beginning. In case you've missed it, ladies and gentlemen, FSReborn's Phenom has now been released for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's also received a patch since being released on Monday. So, we've covered this aircraft extensively. We were very lucky to get a preview live stream last Sunday. That video is still on YouTube. It's a full startup procedure. How do you work the FBOs? How do you get the aircraft in and out of action? Watch that video if you have any questions, and hopefully that will help new pilots just learn the aircraft a little bit quicker. A lot of times people are flying this, they're thinking that the aircraft has issues. Most of the issues at this stage have been already sorted, but the vast majority of the issues people are finding are actually caused by themselves because there's something in the settings, right? It's not to say that this is over the world, not approachable because it's too realistic. That's not the case. It is highly realistic. However, it's just a couple of settings you need to check prior to flight, because these are the things that are catching people out, all right? So anyway, Raul is going to be joining us here now in a while. We're going to be talking about the project, what it was like for him to create it, all the systems, how did he figure out all this, the tens of thousands of lines of code for each and every specific thing. We'll get an idea of the roadmap, right? What's coming to this aircraft, and just a general overview of what's going on at FSReborn. Very, very excited. The aircraft has now been released. There is some strange and weirdatory stuff. Even Raul was fighting our case. He was communicating with Microsoft. He set the price to be $39.99 US. Microsoft said that's grand. They locked in that price based on the US. Outside of that, then you have your various taxes added on top of that. And I do remember Microsoft had a live stream last year stating that the marketplace, they weren't automatically following currency exchange rates to the minute. They were letting them drift for a while. And that's why we're seeing slightly more. For users in Ireland, for example, it was $39.99 plus 16% plus tax. That's what we saw, right? So anyway, just to be aware of that, Raul did get in contact with Microsoft saying, listen, I have customers saying, where's me $39.99? Marketplace came back and said, well, this is why. Okay, right? So just be aware of that. It's also important to note, Raul pushed a patch update for this on Tuesday. Microsoft Flight Simulator deployed that same patch the same day. So anyone thinking that the marketplace is very slow or doesn't well, hopefully that puts that to bed. Here you can see it in action. Developer, update, released. Simple as that. No delay, no delay. All right. So we're going to be having a look at this with Raul when he joins us now in a moment. But I will say, lads, this is to use the word, but it is a phenomenal aircraft, and the features that come with this, as I said, with the FBO, all that work in the background with Jeppesen, just incredible stuff. This gives us the first real sense of feeling of being that kind of business jet pilot. We have to interact with an FBO. We got to look after our crew and passengers. We have to make sure the aircraft is maintained and working correctly. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there. So we'll chat to Raul in a little bit. Now, India Fox Echo confirming that the F-16 and the TA-4J are still very much alive, and they're expecting to push out some betas in the summer period. Unusually quiet from India Fox Echo, and the silence has started to generate some noise, but it's usually a good thing. When developers kind of get quiet, this leads to be kind of a good thing, because they're busy. They're keeping the head down. So the TA-4J Skyhawk, it's nearly there. They're still working on the navigation system for that, and the F-16 is coming along nicely as well. The Falcon, Heatblur has delivered all the geometry for that, so they're just left with a little bit more bits and pieces when it comes to the settings under the hood. The F-35 Lightning version 2, no timeline, possibly only going to be in Flight Sim 2024, but they are working on this to get the F-35 fully updated. This is a superb aircraft in the sim. I know you guys fly this a lot. So everything else that they're working on, including an update to the M346, and of course the F-16, the TA-4J, the F-35, and so on. Also, the Typhoon is getting work on as well. They are out the door busy as India Fox Echo. So just to keep you aware, they might be quiet, but they're busy working on stuff. The F-16 and the the TA-4J, the Skyhawk, these are the ones they're working on full pelt at the moment. Now, Horizon Simulations freeware 787 version 2, well, it's coming together. The freeware Boeing 787 from Horizon, it's on its way to version 2. The team went through a period of relative silence, but over the past few months, the cadence of updates have picked up noticeably, and the screenshots, well, they're now starting and sharing to show what the project is actually starting to become. Back in April, this is when MSFS Add-ons covered all this with Vasco. The team pushed out compatibility with 2024 and confirmed that version 2 is in active development. Since then, Horizon had been steadily pulling back the curtain from a reworked communications panel to a new EFB with performance calculations and landing distance tools. Over the past few weeks, they've shared some more tangible previews. The most recent Facebook post confirmed 2 new features are heading into the aircraft, including windshield wipers and CPDLC uplinks. Wipers are great detail. CPDLC is great, especially for those operating across the ponds, be it the oceanic routes or the Atlantic. The team also shared a full family shot this weekend, giving the community a good look at the reworked exterior. So we can see how the owl exterior is starting to come together. So it's a version 2. Beautiful textures gone into this now as well. I must say, I haven't spent much time at all in the 787, and there's heavy competition coming up here now as well, because we know that there's another 787 in development. But great news for anyone following that from Horizon Simulations. I know Iceman flies the 78 quite a bit on our VATSIM flights, so interesting stuff. Energizer, good to see you, bud. Now, Flight Simware's Lancer Legacy, they've released this as a beta. And anyone who's familiar with Flight Simware, they tend to drop updates every day or every other day. And it's no different with this aircraft. We previewed the news of this aircraft last week, which apart from, announcing, it's a Lancer Legacy, and it looks beautiful. A2A are also working on a similar aircraft, very similar. But the biggest thing with this Lancer all came into this. This is their new maintenance overview, and it's at a level of detail that you have to applaud what they're working on here, because you're looking at your mags, you're looking at friggin' what's going on with your cylinders. There's wear and tear. This thing is very much alive. Very much alive. I'm very excited to have a look at this. Haven't had time just yet, but I will. Definitely going to be interested on checking out this aircraft. I do like Flight Simware. I think they make some beautiful airplanes. The Chancellor, one of my favorites. That Sierra was pretty as well. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what we can do here with this aircraft. It's probably something I'll grab for next week's stream just to show you. And as I said, I'm very interested to see this new feature when it comes to you see here, I'll make this full screen. Look, see all this stuff here, like it's just class. right? You can refill the struts when it comes to the pressure, the hydraulic pressure in the landing gear struts. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. Hydraulic reservoirs, bulb life, brake pads, tire pressure. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with this. So, yeah, very much looking forward to it, you know. Let me see. LN Budapest, welcome in, buddy. One Fly Air, welcome aboard. So, yeah, we'll probably check this out next week. But very, very cool looking stuff here from Flight Simware. And it's a Lancer. It was like, yeah. It was when A2A said they were making a Lancer. I was just like, oh, that's nice. But now I'm starting to get into the aircraft because I'm reading up on them. They are a beautiful aircraft. So, yeah, we'll be learning more on that next week. Now, if you're into gliders, well, you should know about the Diana 2. Gliders don't nearly get enough attention in the flight sim community. They don't have engines to tune, thrust levers to push forward, or even APUs to start them up. What they have is raw aerodynamics, and for certain kind of simmers, well, that's the whole point. It's probably the niche status that explains why the ZD562 Diana from 61 Tree Studio has been sitting quietly in the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 ecosystem for a few weeks without much fanfare, which is a shame. The Diana 2 is the real deal in the gliding world. The SZ56-2, it's a Polish-built, single-seat competition sailplane known for the high glide ratio and clean aerodynamic profile, and currently in production by Avionic as the new generation variant. 61 Tree Studio developed the sim version with official permission from Avionic, which lends the project some credibility right from the start. Robbie, the developer, who's here in the chat, good day, Robbie, describes the Diana 2 as a solo project stretching over a year and a half of nighttime work and weekends outside of the normal life. I love that, man. One person handling 3D modeling, programming, testing, design, documentation, and support is no small thing. And the feature list that resulted from the effort is truly ambitious. The flight model covers what you'd want from a competition glider. 5-position flap system covering negative to full positive deflection, full air brake and spoilers, and a water ballast system for cross-country weight management. Aero tow launches are supported through the RANS S6X tow plane from Flyboy Simulations, and it also handles the departures from airfields without a winch infrastructure. Where it gets more interesting, it's the Avionics. The cockpit is equipped with an LX9050 nav system, one of the more capable glider-specific GPS units in the real world, and it's been implemented here with moving map, task legs, and waypoints, task planning, final glide calculator, pilot profiles, a built-in flight recorder, and a logbook. It even has FLARM traffic status. The LX9050 and V80 units were developed with permission from LXNav, which again shows a degree of care in how the real-world equipment is used. The communication and transponder stack also present with a Trig TY91 VHF radio. Stepping and memory slots are available, and also the TT21 and 22 Mode S transponders, which have full squawk functionality, not headline-grabbing features, but exactly what you would find in a serious glider cockpit. It also has a bug contamination system and simulated oxygen. Two features stand out as really rare in the sim. The first is a bug contamination system as you fly. Insect contamination progressively accumulates on the leading edge of the wing, and the simulator models the effect on the aerodynamic performance. Onboard bug wipers can restore the surfaces mid-flight. In real competition soaring, leading edge contamination is a legitimate performance concern. So it's fully modeled here. We've seen this from Got Friends as well. It's an incredible thing. The second system is the oxygen system. They've implemented the MHEDS oxygen unit, tracking oxygen usage in real time based on altitude, if you have windows open, even the vents on the aircraft. 26 liveries are also included with this. Pilot customization goes surprisingly far. 3 watch styles displaying the sim time or real local time. 3 hat types. 3 shirt types, 3 glasses styles, and the option to bring a pet along. The aircraft is available, it's for the PC, and it's available for $22 from 613.com. The little trailer here we'll have a quick look of, but I gotta say, it looks absolutely, it looks class, doesn't it? Wait, all my buttons are broken here. Oh dear, Murphy, you've broken everything. Think now, Murphy, think. Okay, I think we're looking good there. All these buttons are shagged. I've broken everything in the background. Don't you worry about it though, lads. I'll fix it. Don't worry. I'll figure out how to fix this. What stream deck are you now? Scene. Facecam. Now, why aren't they working? I've broken things here in the background. Think harder. I will try and think harder. I have no idea why they're not working, but we'll figure it out here now in a moment. That's very strange, isn't it? Okay, that worked. And then we've this button. Ah, right, okay. That other button, I've shagged a button. That's hilarious. But anyway, you can see the glider in operation there. It's very, very pretty. It's very, very pretty. So yeah, glider flying. I haven't done much with glider flying. Don't know what you guys do, but this absolutely, it's gorgeous looking. And the fact that there's that link to the real world manufacturers, not only from the aircraft, but indeed the avionics, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So great stuff from 613 Studios. Now, Stratoware and Miltech Simulations, they've set a May 22nd release for the upcoming MBB BO105 aircraft. So it's due to come out on the 22nd. We're going to be live streaming this machine tomorrow morning. Anyone who'd like to join us, that'll be live streamed at 1000 Zulu, right, tomorrow morning. And well, I got to say, it's a very fascinating aircraft, this one. Erwin, thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Cheers, buddy. Echo 19 is in the house. Good to see you, Tyler. Hey, it's Lazy. Welcome in. Yeah, it's a very interesting aircraft. I actually built a model of this long before I even knew anything about the aircraft. And then I found out, well, look, it's multi-role. I mean, it's using law enforcement, search and rescue, mountain rescue, friggin' the military use it, right? And it's also used as aerobatics. It can be used in aerobatics. It's a natural fit for the sim, because it's one of the most recognizable light utility helicopters in the world. And what Miltech and Stratoware are bringing to the table is not a single role release. The package covers 13 variants. That includes medical version, military, aerobatic, you name it, the whole shebang, right? It is a beautiful looking machine. And there's a lot more going with it because it integrates with the mission hub from Miltech, meaning that you can really expand on what you're doing with the chopper and how you're doing it. And the modeling, the sound is incredible. I brought this out for a kick spin earlier on. The sound is absolutely incredible. Sound is being handled by Echo 19, who recorded the package from a real BO105. And I can tell you, you know, I was using chase plane. I was in chase, you know, the flyby mode, sat on the ground, and the chopper approaching and flying by. I mean, I started looking out my own window. That's how unbelievably accurate this is. It is amazing with the sound. So they're planning to release this on the 22nd, which is Friday. So yeah, very best of luck with this. I'll be showcasing this one tomorrow. If you're interested, do be sure to check out our stream tomorrow. Listen carefully. I shall say these only once. Daring Daz, good to see you. Now, PMDG, we showcased this aircraft last night. The overhaul with the 800 is now complete. So that's all the 737s after getting the high detailed update. But in this article, we also got a bit of news on the 777. The 777 getting a tune-up as well, quality of life improvements and some loose ends from the previous release cycle. Most notably, the updates addresses oscillation behavior in the AFDS and following a significant fly-by-wire systems overhaul last March, it also includes the same Navigraph stability improvements. So there was an update for the 777, but more work is on the way. Also then the DC-6. Finally, we're getting news on our DC-6, and what we've been told is it's going to be the same aircraft rebuilt as a native 2024 product. So it doesn't sound like there's going to be new features, and they're also letting us know that the native product, it's going to be a free update. So DC-6 pilots, if you already own it in 2020, what PMDG are doing, converting it to 2024 standards, that's going to be a free update, which is very welcome news. But they're saying there's no new features coming with it, meaning no new textures, you know, no new anything. It's the same aircraft. So if you were looking for kind of, you know, better textures or a better looking aircraft, I don't think we're going to get it on this. However, I will say I absolutely adore the PMDG DC-6. I adore it. I love that airplane. And I'm happy enough with that way it looks. I just want it to be working more better in 2024, especially when it comes to the WASM issues, you know. Ollie, good to see you, bud. Easy livery update, though. Yeah. We heard that one before, right? We have, Ollie, we have. Now, they're saying it's going to be a free one, and I reckon it's free because there's going to be no... there's no new features. At least what we know. Kieran Nile is here from Dusseldorf. Good evening. Good to see you, bud. So look, fair enough. I love the DC-6. I think it's an incredible aircraft. It's one of my favourite in the sim. It's a complex aircraft as well. So, yeah. DC-6 is your favourite, the hangar. Yeah, there's something special about the DC-6. I don't know what it is. We've done so many flights with this. It tends to be the flagship of the fleet, but there's just something special about that DC-6. I adore it. So, yeah, good to hear that they're working on it. Now, Echo Simulations, their Falco, this is released. We're going to check this out next week. The too long didn't read. It's a very nice airplane. End of story. If you like small general aviation, this is going to be where you're looking for. The aircraft is based on a much newer model. The aircraft production for Falco, 70 years or so, right? But I gotta say, the texture work, it's a very pretty airplane. Sounds are kind of all right-ish. There's not much in terms of features with the aircraft. They do have a little G5 unit on the dash, which looks nice. The lighting is very pretty. It's just a nice general aviation airplane. We'll be checking it out next week on the stream, and that's available through the marketplace as well. It's about 23 euro. At the moment, $24.99. So there's a rental option there as well, which is great if you want to rent the aircraft as well. So that's the Falco. We're going to check it out next week. But I think it's a great machine. If you like that style of general aviation flying, you'll be happy enough with this. It's a nice machine. It's light on features though. We're getting spoiled now when it comes to features. Now, Coronado, they're bringing their King Air 200 to Flight Sim 2020, following a round of post-launch updates. They still need another 5 updates. It's a great plane, though. It looks great. Couple of problems with it. They just need to iron them out. But it is making its way into Flight Sim 2020 for any pilots who are still operating with 2020. It's priced at $24.99 US and is available now. And again, if you're part of the Captain's Club with msfsaddons.com, well, you can actually avail of a discount. So do be sure to check that out as well from the Captain's Club with msfsaddons.com. You're supporting Vasco, you're supporting all the work that he does here, but in addition, you get a barrel load of discounts. There's a free aircraft lottery. There's loads of cool stuff. You might consider it. It works out at about $3.99 a month or $40 for the year, but it ensures Vasco keeps the lights on and keeping us up to date with what goes on with all the news. So do be sure to check it out, lads. Now, Builds hot off the shelf this evening. Brand new trailer has dropped. Zakynthos is coming soon to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I shall show you this. I shall say it's this only once. And I need to do this and then hide me. Oh wait, did not do it. Jesus, I'm a genius. Let's check out the old trailer. So this is a soon-to-be-released brand new scenery from I Builds, and it's been previewed there tonight. I think Jamie was checking it out. We saw Grizzle check it out as well. We're going to check this one out very soon, but a beautiful sunset destination, Zakynthos. Doesn't it look very lovely? Looks absolutely fantastic. So no news on when it's going to release. I imagine soon. And this is on its way now for Microsoft Flight Simulator with thanks to I&I bills. So looking forward to that one. Tunage, right, we continue. Raul will be here in a few moments. Word here from Flight Tampa, Amsterdam Schiphol finally getting the 2024 compatibility. According to Flight Tampa, the Universal Installer version 1.3 of Amsterdam was pushed on the 14th of May, finally bringing native compatibility with Flight Sim 2024. For a product that's been sitting in 2024 limbo since the new sim launched, it is an important arrival. They also said they were waiting for the jump to the 2024 SDK. The changelog for the airport is available inside the installer. There's just 3 lines. It just says compatibility update for Flight Sim 24, terrain and taxiway bridge improvements, 3D model adjustments. So that's the patch notes, but you can grab it. For new users, Amsterdam Schiphol, you can pick it up over on Contrail for around $21.99. And of course, if you're a member of the Captain Club, you get 15% off Contrail. So, well, you can do the maths, but it makes it considerably cheaper. So, yeah, great news finally from Flight Tampa. It is an exceptionally good airport. We know that, again, Roy had to do some custom work, and there was like a remove trees mod and all this kind of jazz. So yeah, great to see, and it's finally there for folks to update. So happy days there. Now we're nearly there, lads. RAF Kenley 1940 targets a late June targets late June for release, recreating the morning before the hardest day. So we've been following this from Time Machine Designs. These are the guys that brought us Hadrian's Wall, and this project, I've been glued to this because it looks absolutely incredible. They have completely rebuilt a 1940s RAF installation using historic documents, blueprints, on-site archaeology. Like, all of this has been done, and they've brought this airfield from the 1940s back to life, and it looks as it did back in the very day. This scenery is going to be released in June, and I gotta say, it's looking to be absolutely incredible. So very happy to see this finally now on the home stretch for a release, and the amount of work that they've done here, apart from being just the scenery, it's fascinating to hear the work that was involved by Time Machine Designs in partnership with universities and historians. This is the most accurate you will see of a project like this, where they actually go back and they have official documents, the photographs, reference material, they walk the site, they carried out all sorts of 3D scanning, and they're able to bring it back from what it once looked like, because today it's gone, sure, you know what I mean. So very much looking forward to this. So we'll be covering more of that airfield once it gets released. Our plan, of course, are going to be flying Spitfires out of this. We'll be doing a huge group flight once this becomes available. Now, ProPair Flight released Little Rock Clinton National Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And well, what we have, Arkansas doesn't come up that often in our flight sim conversations, and one can say that it's a bit of a shame. Little Rock Clinton National is the busiest airport in the state, and it functions as a joint civil and military hub, which gives a different operational character to it. 12 gates at the terminal as well, handling the commercial side, while the military presence adds traffic that virtual pilots flying and AI traffic tools should appreciate. There's also an unusual piece of aviation trivia. The Dassault Aircraft Service Completion Centre is on the field, which is the largest Dassault factory in the world. So pretty cool to see that as well. On the feature side, the developer lists custom ground polygon, high resolution textures, accurate surface markings, and high detailed building models across the terminal, which is pretty cool. Animated ground crew passenger populates the ramp. Taxi network has been updated to reflect the current real-world layout, and so on. You can pick this up now through Orbex, $20 for Little Rock in Arkansas. Ooh, pretty cool. Now, moving on, we're nearly there. SimFlight Services opens pre-orders for the Pulse Air hardware module. You might say, who? Virtual Fly powered SimFlight Services has officially opened pre-orders for Pulsar. It's a new modular hardware device designed to expand physical avionics controls for Microsoft Flight Sim and other platforms. The new hardware module builds on the company's existing Rote Air ecosystem, which first launched nearly a year ago. And together, the two products aim to provide simmers with a compact IFR-focused desktop solution that reduces reliance on your mouse interaction. According to SimFlight Services, Rotair was originally designed to bridge both general aviation and airliner flying, and the device features 8 dual concentric encoders that can be used with avionics systems such as your G1000, your GNS 530, and also your G3000 systems. The hardware can also be adapted for Airbus flying through optional A320 front panels, providing control over the FCU, EFIS, and COM radios and transponder systems in aircraft such as the Phoenix A320. The company say the hardware has been particularly popular with VR pilots. So we'll probably see a lot more of these. I got to say, they look nice. It does require, the additional hardware to run it. I think Flight Streamer has this stuff. I saw that in one of his pictures. But it does look very, very nice. So they're now expanding the ecosystem beyond rotary inputs. The new module focuses on push-button functionality, adding dedicated controls for autopilots. Now, what's pretty cool here is that whole module system. Both Rotair and Pulsar are described as plug-and-play, and you can pre-order the Pulsar, now available through the official SimFlight Services store. Discounted launch price of €110, reduced from the planned €135. So it'd be interesting to see if anyone is grabbing these. Looks good. And that's probably my favorite unit out of all of them, because we have autopilot controls, we have our MFD or PFD controls, and then we've nav, heading, all the jazz here, radios, you name it. It's a very tidy bit of kit, I gotta say. So yeah, interesting stuff there. Now, Sim Passengers launches for Flight Sim 2024 with cabin events, passenger reactions, and flight scoring. Many of the aircraft we fly are simulated in great detail, such as what we get with the FSR 300. The people inside them, well, not so much. That's an observation that led Anil, founder of Ace Solutions, to build Sim Passengers. A simmer himself for over 20 years, he says he started the project for his own flights before it grew into something worth releasing as a product. Sim Passengers is now live for Flight Sim 2024, and its scope goes noticeably further than what's already available in the cabin immersion space. It adds a live cabin atmosphere around your flight, from the moment boarding starts to when the last passengers walk off the jet bridge. And the add-on tracks cabin state, passenger stress and happiness, service flow, seatbelt compliance, turbulence impact, and more. The developer describes it as a cabin that has a memory. If your passengers are unsettled by turbulence, they don't just reset. They remain uneasy until the flight stabilizes, the service resumes, or a smooth landing reassures them. The PA system is dynamic and context aware. Announcements vary by the flight phase, departure and arrival airport, the airline, and what actually happening on board. The developer saying that if you land in London, you might hear the crew recommend local fish and chips. If you land at Princess Juliana, well, you might get a mention of Maho Beach. Pretty cool. Cabin service is also time aware. A short morning hop will behave differently to a long haul overnight sector. For the service can start, progress, or remain incomplete depending on how the flight goes. So it's one of these kind of sim passenger tools. We've seen this stuff before, but it does look very interesting. We know, of course, we have Passengers 2X, and of course we have SayIntentions, which gives you a lot of this as well. It kind of sits outside of that ecosystem. Aircraft agnostic in a different way. Worth noting, however, the Simbrief flight plan is currently required for the add-on to function. Interesting stuff. The basic tier for this is $24.99, which covers the full cabin experience, flight scoring, and community features. An advanced pack at $49.99 adds earlier preview bills, a private forum, and priority Discord support. So it's a pay-where passenger experience kind of add-on thing. Again, depending on your usability, SayIntentions will do a lot of this. You've Cabin Crisis. The FSR 300E has this built in natively. Your passengers just will hate you or love you, depending on, how you mind them. So people pay for Discord. Yeah, Raul, you messed up big style. They pay for priority You should be charging people for that, Now, our last couple of items. So GSX Pro has been updated. It's here now with a redesigned UI and even ground service invoices. So we've seen a lot more updates recently from GSX, and version 4 seems to be the big one because it's a brand new user interface. It also has another headline feature, and GSX now generates itemized HTML invoices for every paid ground service, such as your fuel, catering, pushback, GPU, jetway stairs, boarding, deboarding, water, your lavatory, the crew bus, and even de-icing. They're rendered in what FS Dream Team describes as a NATA-style format, complete with operator letterhead, line items, and taxes. The taxes are computed per jurisdiction in real time. At US airports, GSX adds the federal fuel tax plus the relevant sales tax and so on. EU airports get the destination country's VAT and so on. Catering pricing is now tied in also. And when an invoice is ready, a notification banner will appear. They've also put in a new Mercedes Iconic fuel truck, and this is all available as a free update with GSX Pro. Be interesting to see what other add-ons can actually integrate with this. It's interesting. It can now generate invoices, just to give you an idea. I suppose it is something we tend not to worry about. But for business jet pilots, maybe this could be huge. Be huge. So if you have GSX, make sure you give it an update. You'll see the brand new UI, and there is that option for an invoicing system, which is interesting. Now we're nearly there. Gate static injector for anyone who uses VATSIM. Well, this adds static aircraft to VATSIM airports flying on Microsoft Flight Sim. So the controllers are human, the separation is real, and the procedures matter. That's VATSIM. However, the airport's mostly empty. Gate Static Injector is here to fix that. Gate Static Injector, or GSI, it's a new free external application that detects your current airport during a VATSIM session, and it fills up the unused parking stands with cold and dark static aircraft using the FSLTL base models as the source. Since FSLTL dropped live traffic injection after losing access to the Flight Radar 24 API, the base model library has continued to serve the community through other injectors. GXI adds another use case. So basically, you set it up, you load into the sim, connect VATSIM with your vPilot, you press start in GSI, and the app will read your airport parking data, and if there's anything empty, it will populate those with static aircraft. Pretty cool. The critical feature, and really the one that makes it viable for VATSIM rather than just offline, is the automatic stand clearing. When a real VATSIM pilot spawns in or parks at a stand that GSI just happened to occupy, it detects the conflict and removes the static aircraft. Live aircraft will always get priority. The developer is upfront about where the tool's limit lie right now. Placement quality depends entirely on the scenery you're using. It reads the parking data at the airport developer embedded in the product, including stand positions. So if there's anything kind of weird or wonderful there, it will break. But yeah, it's called GSI. It's available over on flightsim.to. So maybe something there for our VATSIM pilots to say, ooh, that could be handy, you know. Sprockets is here, good to see you. Katie Pilot is here, good to see you. Welcome in, guys. We're going to be talking to Raul now in a second. We were late. Me chat ambushed me at the start of the stream. It's a terrible ambush. Navigraph Academy finally rolling out their full IFR course. We've done part one, our virtual PPL. We completed that from start to finish. And now Navigraph have just released their IFR course. Instrument flying to navigate like IFR pilots do. And we have a number of new lessons with this. And I think it's 3 key areas they cover that we can follow along and learn all of these IFR procedures. Navigraph Academy, probably the best answer to this. It is free. The virtual PPL is impressive. We've done it. And this is now the next stage of that training course. We'll be checking this out in a couple of weeks, and you can see what we're going to be covering when it comes to our instrument flying, right? Instrument flying. So we've already covered the virtual PPL, and now we get into the first lesson with basic instrument flying. Then we do an IFR en route nav, and then the third one covers your ILS approaches. And this is free. This is free training that you can grab from the Navigraph Academy. So it's great to see anything that can kind of teach folks procedures aimed at flight simulation. Is always going to be a good thing. Do you know what I mean? So that's available now from Navigraph. We'll check it out fairly soon. Now, what else do we have? SayIntentions. Yes, we're going to have a quick read up on this in a moment. While we're here, over to Firefly Air. Shout out to Kieran and our virtual airline admin team. There's a brand new achievement. It's a multi-leg achievement known as the Delivery Duty. This flight, or series of flights, there are 13 legs in total. We are tasked with bringing a brand new Embraer Phenom out of Florida and fly it all the way back to Dublin. This has been created to celebrate the launch of the FSReborn, the FSR 300E, and this is an achievement which has now been launched on our own virtual airline if you'd like to fly along with it. We're probably going to fly this route ourselves in a couple of weeks, starting on Monday nights. We'll probably do it in 3 legs or something like that, and that's going to be flying the Phenom from the United States back to our home base in Dublin. Beautiful routing here from Florida all the way up the east coast of the US, up through Canada, Greenland, Iceland, down through Scotland, the UK, and then back into Ireland. So there's 13 legs on this. It's available right now if you want to start flying it. All the legs have been posted. They're all available. And of course, each flight you do, you unlock experience points. And there's also an achievement badge up for grabs as well. So excellent stuff. Now, before we go, last bit of stuff here. SayIntentions, we had Brian on the stream yesterday, awesome interview and a great insight, and we're very much looking forward to seeing the team over at FS Weekend. So what we have from last week's NOTAMs that SayIntentions release, well, there's been a massive amount of work regarding their traffic, and we're starting to see this now on all our flights. So the massive round of traffic improvements have been deployed. It's still real-world gate-to-gate scheduled traffic being injected. They're not artificially spawning random aircraft. The difference is that the en route injection radius has now been expanded substantially, which allows way much more surrounding traffic. You can see from just some of the pictures. It's absolutely insane what SayIntentions are able to bring in to the AI world when you're flying. And of course, you can detect these inside your aircraft as well. And there's going to be ATC scheduling in there. ATC are talking to all of these pilots. As Brian put it, we're melting the servers to bring you this one. So it's all part of what Brian was saying yesterday. They're just working on enhancing all the features. Also, as Malky says, SayIntentions have released the pilot presence detection system that was released about an hour ago. We checked that one out in real time yesterday. That is, if you're flying with SayIntentions and you have like a camera or a Toby or a track IR, you now have an option where it uses the Windows Hello system that it will detect if your face is there or not, and that'll send SayIntentions a single present, not present notification. If you stand up and walk away from your PC, it means your co-pilot will automatically take over the communications of your aircraft. They'll look after all of that. They will look after all your radio communications. And then when you come back, it automatically detects your back. It sends, SayIntention, a present, not present. Your co-pilot automatically hands over back to you. And they'll even say things like, did you wash your hands? Absolutely incredible. But if there was any messages transmitted, your co-pilot will say, yeah, you have control, or, you've got the radios. By the way, we've gone from, Boston Center. We're now talking to New York. Something, you know what I mean? It's very, very good. It's cool. The feature's there. If you want it, you can use it. If you don't want it, you don't need it. But, or if you don't want it, don't use it. But it's just been released now today, which is great news. Additional updates to ATC when it comes to ground sequencing. I got to say yesterday as well, did you see that? I mean, you probably got to hear. You heard it yesterday, I'm sure, right? Because we were having a now listen of what was going on. I'll bring this video up because I was blown away by this. Right now, you're going to see me on a screen, but it's grand, right? Just have a listen to this. This is from last night, and it's absolutely incredible. Shane, can you go through the briefing with me? We'll just go through the A320.
All right, here's the departure briefing. We'll be departing from runway 10 left. We'll be flying the City 3 departure with an initial climb clearance to 3,000. Transition altitude is 18,000. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile as cleared, climbing to flight level 340. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climbing to 3,000 before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency and communicate with ATC. We have been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 7463 and departure frequency will be 120.9er. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you so much. Isn't that mad, isn't it? Like, that's mad. That was AI doing all of that. I'm blown away with that. It was unbelievable. And they also do the approach briefings as well. Very, very cool stuff. And then, of course, as Brian said yesterday, we're going to be chatting more about what's going to be happening at Flight Sim Expo. Can't wait for that. They have a couple of announcements with them. They do have their own stage, so it's going to be awesome. Yeah, the fact that you can hear like there's airs and it sounds so natural, it was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So again, SayIntentions, they're just doing great stuff, and we had a great chat with Brian yesterday. So that was awesome. Right, is that me done? Did I cover everything I was supposed to? I think I did. Yeah, I think it did. Right, so that is this week's Flight Sim news, and we're now, without further delay, we've having a chat with Raul as we're sitting on the ground here at Mount Cook. We'll be checking out this airport here now after Raul. But anyone who's used the Mount Cook region before, this is it's on the way. It's version 2 of the Mount Cook region, and this is brought to us by NZA Simulations. It's a native product inside Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, and I gotta say, it looks absolutely incredible. Incredible, the detail. They've covered miles of terrain, all the different huts. We have the airport. We have tons upon tons of stuff. And my sim is froze. Brilliant. Oh, Jesus, then. Come on, you can do it, Sim. Right, my sim is back. What happened there? Right, we'll come back to our aircraft because well, we need to be chatting with Raul. Right? How's that? My frames working? They are. 200-ish frames. Interesting. Right, we'll see what the crack is. So, hang on, I'll ping Raul, see you there. Raul, I imagine you're there. Pressing buttons. Ah, sure. Hang on. It's connecting. Wait, brilliant. Hang on, I'll turn on stuff in my machine now, Raul. Hang on 1 second. You know the way this is all highly polished. Wait now. Don't panic. Don't panic now. I'll fix this.
What are you fixing? Do you hear me?
Well, we can see you and we can hear you. Jeez, you look lovely. It's good to see you, man. How are you?
I am awake.
Did you get any sleep at all over the last few days?
Haven't slept for 2 days, I think.
Jesus, 2 days. Well, I gotta say, man. I mean, from Sunday when we were talking to you to where we are now, this release, an aircraft we've seen. You know, we got a great preview of this when you first announced it, right? And then we had the privilege to see. You know, you share some development news with us in last November in Dublin at our meetup, and then seeing the final stages being applied to the aircraft, and now it's finally here. I mean, the response from the community, from what I've seen and heard, has been nothing short of amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Is it? Because I've been too busy answering questions. I haven't had the time to see any reviews or anything. I've been just dealing with why my engine is not starting.
Come here. You should be charging for premium Discord support. Did you see that?
No, I just realized that I'm a dump. I mean, everyone is paying for this, and I am there 24/7 for free. What is this about?
It's a rookie mistake. Rookie mistake.
Yeah. I mean, I would have made more money from support than from the plane. I mean, this is actually a good business model. You make the plane very difficult, and then you charge for support. I can see it.
I absolutely love it. So tell me, I mean, it has been so busy over on the FSReborn Discord and the website, and it's just.
I was expecting this because one of the things that happened is that I've been trying to prepare the community for this, but they didn't listen to me again because it happened to us with the FSR 500, and this plane is, I would say, 80% higher simulator than FSR 500. And the first trailer, you remember, which is the one that we were playing in Dublin, I said, "Do you think you can fly a private jet?" This I was not joking, and you can see now, right? No, you can't. Pilots go for check rides, you know, and so much training before even attempting to start the engines. And one of the difficulties is that we have simulated this with the help of James and Brian and Luis and Edu. All of them are captains now of Phenoms. James joined us on the beta a year and 9 months ago, and he was a co-pilot first officer. and he became a captain through the journey of the plane. Now he's a captain of Phenoms. So I've been building all these and talk to them daily. I mean, we're friends. It's
That's
like
crazy.
we talk about whatever now because they are on my WhatsApp everywhere, right? So so the aircraft is modeled so close to the real thing that there were things that they wanted me to put in B1. I said, if I do that, no one's gonna fly this,
Mhm.
right? So I told them we have to hit a target like they can get into it, and then we do an update later, and then they already are familiar with the plane, and then you drive into a full what I call them. You know, I do joke a lot with them. The pilot say, "You want me to build a level D simulation for you because you want to train at home," and, and we did got it very close, I would say, and that's a difficulty, right? Imagine that you walk today into a Phenom and you start flipping switches to see what happened. That's effectively what's occurring when people is boarding the aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator because they're enabling everything. I put a wizard that tells them, you know, are you comfortable with this? And they're all saying yes. They're not reading. They're just going and saying yes to everything. And then, yes, it's not working. One of the things I noticed is that they forget to put the fuel pump and they start the starter
Mhm.
and they run the starter for over 60 seconds. Obviously, father gives up and they can't work out what happened. So they carry on trying to do it and they are not resting the starter as Embraer tells you, and it burns it. You know, they're burning their generators and starters all over the place, and then obviously they get frustrated and tell, well, disable failures, and you don't have the problem. You can do Control E and go flying. But so that's pretty much what has been. We don't have many bugs reported. The bug that we got initially was that we did tweak this for SU4, as you know, and we had the performance pretty much nailed down. But then something happened with SU5, and then people that were below 12 gigabytes of VRAM and they were running on high resolution, which is 1440p or higher, they were having a performance problem. We identified that on Monday at 1 a.m. and we released the patch yesterday around 8 p.m. and everyone is just running okay. You know, someone told me marketplace updates are very slow. I don't know.
You kind of broke that kind of saying.
I keep saying this everywhere. It's not. But here we go. It's up. Unfortunately, I broke one switch yesterday when I was doing that in the middle of the night. So I'm going to release another patch tomorrow to fix the switch. And
Wow.
I managed to put two more things that people were asking. So we're going to release that tomorrow, most likely. I will submit it on the morning, tell Marketplace I'm happy, and then they will push it with the updates of Thursday. They are very kind people, very friendly. You know, you tell them, look, I really have a problem. You know, Tuesdays is a day that they do updates anyway, so they just fit it. But if you were having a problem, let's say today,
Mhm.
and it's something really bad, I have a fix, and I tell them, oh, people are really suffering. Could you please release this? It will go through the channels, of course, and a manager will approve it. But if you ask nicely, they will do the best because they want people on Microsoft Flight Sim to have a good experience. They're not going to tell you now you're gonna let people suffering for another 2 days and your plane is gonna be broken.
Mhm.
You know, they will help. They will help. But the thing is that you are responsible for your updates. You have to test them. You have to know what you're doing, right? You're not going to be doing that all the time.
And
So
it's
we're gonna update it tomorrow, and then we're just gonna go through the feature requests because I'm having so many feature requests from people, queue them accordingly, and then do another update later on with a whole bunch of things, right? So we can bring down all the things that they're asking.
there's more things coming. So, right, pull up the handbrake for a second. I mean, this journey for you, Raul, this started not last year, not like this is almost 3 years.
Correct.
Of you working on this.
Yes.
I mean, what's that whole process like? I mean, 3 years.
Well, you need to consider what happens to making aircraft when you want to make something good. You start with a 3D Works, and then you start building systems, right? So it's not like I finish a plane and then now I'm going to start thinking about the next aircraft and start working on the next aircraft. That's not how it works. I have already on the back end a 3D model completed for CG3 Plus, ready to be animated and go. I have the 3D model of a 727 ready to get textured. I have a 3D model of an Embraer 121 with 3 different series ready to start animating and working on it. And I have the chip monkey on already on texture phase. And another secret project with another developer that we join forces, which is already the 3D is being built. So it's not like you sit on it and you do nothing, right? You have to keep things moving because it's a very dynamic space, and you have to queue all sort of things. You have to queue, for example, who's going to do the sounds, when they can sounds be recorded for our aircraft. You have to get everything tested, check the references. It's difficult. When I started, I was a one-man army, so you have to do things with time, so everything aligns. So it's a difficulty. So this started the day that we were releasing FSR 500. It was the day that I was discussing with the 3D artist the interiors of the aircraft, the colors.
Wow.
Okay, and at that time he then sent me a week later a mock-up, and then I said, yeah, go ahead. And while he was working on that, we were working on TL3000. You remember the other ultralight?
Yeah.
We released that, and then this was very advanced, but we were on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and at that stage we just needed to do the avionics. But then what happened is 2024 was announced. And when I saw the SDK, I thought, well, it's no point, right? It's just, it was so much advanced what you could do, as you can see, that I thought, well, it's better to actually now convert everything. So conversions of planes that are 2020 to 2024, it's not easy. So it took us 2.9 years to do from the first polygon to release. I would say we use it probably 8 to 9 months converting from 2020 to 2024.
Wow.
Okay. And that's because I wanted to use everything that could be native of 2024.
Yeah.
Even the paint. So the 3D model of this aircraft was done 4 times.
Wow.
Because we found then things on 2024 that they were not working the same way I will work on 2020. So it was better to redo it, right? To avoid compromising on certain things. And that's the reason perhaps that was a little bit longer than normal, because we were between platform changes, right? If I did the decision to say I'm going to release to 2 platforms, I would say it would have taken me even longer, because we will have end up to have 2 different projects, totally different. Or I would have ended up with a product that was not very happy.
Yeah.
The FBOs, for example, was something that I always imagined to have, because James and Brian keep teasing me with pictures of them sitting on signature FBOs, this and that, and saying, look at the coffee I'm having while you are fixing my bug. I'm like, okay, show me how it looks. So they did some videos and stuff. I thought, well, it would be cool that you could do this inside the simulator, right? So you all guys know Jefferson 2001. So I contacted him. Prior to the last FS Expo. I said to him, I want you to build me these buildings like this. And he said, for what? I said, I just want you to build the buildings like that. And I'll tell you later what it is. Imagine you're going to be inside these buildings, having services for private jets. That's a concept. And I said, I want 3 types. I want one that is like, it's your personal office. And I found him pictures online, because I've seen this. Picture online of these hangars in America where people own the hangar, they live there, or can sleep there, for example, and they have their cars and they have their planes. I said, this is what I want. You see the blinds that he has on his office. So he's sitting and he can put the blinds up and see the aircraft. That will be amazing if we manage to do that. So he got the concept very well. And that's what we call the executive right now on the product. I said to him, I want to have a medium one or a large one. And the idea is that people are going to come with crazy imagination. They will start combining them on the airports. I knew that was going to happen. And now we see the pictures of what people are doing, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Then I told him, okay, now we need to find ways that people make their own logos on these things because they have to own it. They have to make their own companies.
Yeah.
So while we were working on that, we were working on the plane, right? So you're going in parallel like this, one by side. And then you have to merge and then say, okay, we're going to release now, right? And nobody knew how the user interface was going to look like, even on my internal team.
Okay.
No one knew about the FBOs on the internal beta team until 2 weeks pre-release.
Wow.
And I do those kind of things with the punchline of features of a product because you need to know if what you're doing is going to have the impact that you want for larger community. And the difficulty with a project so long like this, which is 2.9 years, is that the guys get used to use everything that they have been doing for so long that they lose sight. So you have to bring them sudden changes like this. So you kind of wake them up and they say, oh, what is all this, right? So we were testing the user interface of the FBOs, I would say a week and a half before release.
Wow.
And they all work great.
Yeah.
But we couldn't introduce certain features that we wanted because you have to prepare for release. And to prepare for release, it takes a long time too.
Mhm.
You have to record trailers, you have to record videos, you have to submit your pictures and everything for the marketplace. It's a whole sort of preparation that needs to occur. And you don't do it on time, you miss the deadline. And I need to travel to FS Expo, right? And I have all the commitments to. So this was the date. So, but we managed. It's been a beautiful journey. I mean, I love this aircraft. The reason I decided to do it was because I remember when I was flying FSR 500, just ready to release, and it was announced that there was a Phenom 300 for the marketplace at the time Microsoft Simulator 2020. And it's one of my favorite airplanes. It is. And when I saw the depiction of it on Microsoft Flight Simulator, I felt so upset that day I called my 3D architect and I said, can you do this aircraft? How long it will take you? And he gave me a quote, he gave me the times, and I said, okay, go for it. And then that's how it all started. It was out of disgrace. I felt I had to.
The aircraft needed this to be saved. Yeah.
We needed to do this, and then do it right. I was very quiet during the project because one thing I hate to do to people is to hype them and then not bring in delivery. But when you're doing something right, it's very difficult to tell you, yeah, it's going to be okay. It's going to be released in 10 months. And then you find some problems or something, right? And then you can't do it in 10 months. And then the difficulty is that they will feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And it's a normal human condition. And that's something I will never want for the community of my loyal customers, that they feel betrayal from me. I'd rather them to learn that I can't commit to a date, but when something comes out, it's like this. And that's much better than saying, yeah, I release it for you in a year, and then I miss the target. I mean, it's a mistrust.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if I'm telling you I'm going to push update tomorrow, I never give you updates, then you know, okay, he's going to do that. So for me, the value of trust between customers and me is something very important, because otherwise there is no loyalty, right? If they're upset or something. So that's why I never gave them much, but obviously everyone was saying to me, you need to give us something, you need to give me something. So my revenge of that was that I said, fine, I'm going to give you a full week of one trailer after another and hype you until you cannot take anymore, and then I release it. So that was, I think, the most difficult part, because I have to record all these videos and align it to the release day, right? And Maurice was like, you're crazy. How many you want me to do? I said 8. Why 8? Because we did a whole album of music and we need to use all of them. It was like, why are you going to record them there? You don't worry. I tell you the scripts for each one and you will see that it will be plenty there. When he got the aircraft, he understood why I wanted 8 trailers. He said, oh, I see. You have so much stuff here that it's just impossible to put on one. I said, yeah, exactly. So this way they can digest it rather than giving it to everybody as streamers and then they cannot use it. We give it to like this, then streamers will come out with it, but people are already now digested what the product is about, and then they can have it, and they can as well wait for the preferred streamer to have it first, you know. But At that point, it's their decision rather than holding them out for ransom, you know?
Absolutely. Like, it's gas, like, you know, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, I mean, since you've started making add-ons for flight simulators, I mean, it always started off with the experience. I mean, that's what you went for. You wanted to build experiences. Yeah. But for anyone who may not know, you've built this entire project whilst juggling a full-time job. I mean, this is not the full-time job. I mean, this was the passion project, which meant, of course, you were, you know, at work all day, and then at nighttime and on weekends, this is where you got to jump into this.
Yes.
And not only, you know, I mean, are we here now today, but you were able to do so from within a native software development kit that usually comes under a lot of fire from other developers saying it's just not possible to do these things. Yet you've managed to get so much out of that native SDK. Now, I'm sure it wasn't all easy sailing. You know, I know you've had a lot of conversations with Asobo to say, hey, I need all these things, but from that kind of work-life balance, or in your case, that work balance, and we talk about the challenges. We'll get into the technical challenges in a bit, Raul, but like, what's that got to be like? I mean, the challenge of, number one, sticking to your own deadlines, two, the frustration that must exist between, you know, I can't work on this now, I got to do something else, right? And then, you know, when it comes down to, you do everything right, and then maybe, you know, they throw a new sim platform halfway during your development. So, like, what have the challenges been like for you over the last 2 years?
That's pretty normal on any platform. I don't see that as an issue. You're always developing in the world across a roadmap that is shifting in front of you. And it's getting worse. I mean, with AI and all those sort of things, you are doing something right now and it will be deprecated in 3 weeks. And if you don't understand it and then you don't know how to play the game and know it, then you're lost. One of the biggest challenge for me was really how long I could stay at night to keep being productive and moving the project. So I juggle it. So it's like, okay, so from Monday to Wednesday, I work only until 2 a.m. so I can have 5 hours sleep. And then from Wednesday to Friday, I work all the way to 4 sometimes. So then I can push it harder. And by Saturday, I can sleep all morning. And then I recover and then have time with the family out. It's very important, otherwise they will not accept this. And then when we come home at 6, 7 is when I sit again and then do it all the way until the morning. Sleep all the way to 1 p.m. Sunday, and we repeat. We spend all afternoon together, and then come back and I carry on at night, and then it shifts again. So that's how I've been doing it. Now, Phenom is not a project that was 100% alone. There has been a new member of the team that contacted me when we were around, I would say, 60-70% of the project complete, offering me some help with avionics plugins. His name is Luca. I love him. He's now part of FSReborn permanently. He's not allowed to go anywhere else. So we started working together, and he helped me with a lot of the avionics development. So he will push something, and then I will jump in because you have something called GitHub. So we will work together, right? So he's incredible fast to understand technology because he's younger than me, obviously. And once he got something up and running, I could take and then go. So, for example, I told him we need to build a FADEC, and I said, either I do it the way that it was FSR 400, or if you know something that is better now, tell me. I said, yeah, the working title SDK allows you to do FADEC. I said, oh, really? Yeah, there is an example here and such. So he built an example of file lines, right? I said, okay, fine, I do it. And then I did the whole FADEC, right? So we work in collaborations like this. So he will build certain things and will build other things. So it was pretty much, I would say, it's hard to say because so many lines of code that you don't know who wrote how much. I mean, it's just like ridiculous. So we will be working like this, and then suddenly on Saturday, Monday, we merge all the code together, test it, and then all the pilots go and tell us, no, it's wrong. Then we fix, and then you carry on like that. And then at some point, I have to tell everybody, okay, that's it. We have to stop building features now because I can't do the project for 5 years. I mean, it's almost 3, right? So there are certain things we're gonna add to the aircraft now, and it's gonna come on chunk of versions. So it's what I call minor revisions and major revisions. So the minor revisions is gonna be improvements that are feedback from the community on release. This is normal. You find things that you don't know. Guys, I can't own 100 hardwares. It's not physical space in my office. So sometimes you find certain things, and then we tweak with the feedback of people. We joined a new team member on the beta team, for example, on Monday when he said, I have bad performance because this is this. I said, would you be able to help? I said, yeah, I will. And he signed the NDA. We joined into the team, and he helped to test the performance thing. And he said, this is perfect. I don't know what you did. So I call it magic powder. And we pushed it, and it's out. That's how I like to work. I like to work with listening to the community. There have been great feedback on our Discord channel about features updates. There's a lot of feedback. There's things that we're going to talk about that I already had on plans, and I'm not telling them, right? Like, can you do this? And I'm like, I'm already doing it. Can do that? I'm already doing it, but
yeah.
But that's the nature, because we had to release at some point, and you can't continue the project forever. So, the aircraft is not finished. The aircraft has, I mean, it's a product that's complete. Obviously, it's released. It's not early release, but on my original roadmap, the plan, this has, I would say, 75% of the features that I wanted as a final.
Okay.
So obviously it's a full complete product, but it's just other features that I want to add. One of them, I send you a video. Others are, for example, I want you to be able to call anti-icing services. And the whole idea is that the anti-ice truck is going to come, and we are going to try to make that you drive the truck and you do the anti-icing.
Right. Okay?
So if I can't manage that, at least you will see the aircraft being anti-iced by the truck. But I want to simulate that you are actually moving it. So the plan in my head, this is a plan, guys, is that as an avatar mode, you should be able to climb on the truck and get on the platform that has the host. You see what I mean? And then you will be able to move that around, and then you will see the liquid firing. So somehow you're moving that while you are on avatar mode, so you can see how you're applying the liquid. That was one of the plan's features that didn't manage for this release, which is planned to bring over. We are simulating, obviously, all the failures that you guys have seen on the final product. There is a new one, which is proper engine fires. And those engine fires will have a consequence that when they occur, you will hear a fire truck coming. And that fire truck will arrive, and I will put it out, and then all the fun that happens after you have destroyed your engine by setting on fire by one means or another. Then another feature that is going to be available, providing the SDK improve, is a lot of people ask me, can you make the passengers move? I have already a ticket open, because as you see, the passenger can go to the toilet, but at the moment they stay seated. That's because there is a bug where they cannot follow nodes on the plane, but someone told me that's a pending fix. So when that's fixed, then we're going to simulate probably the passenger move around the cabin. So you will see them actually going into the toilet physically, and then you hear the dump, whatever. So it's a lot of features like that. Features of the simulation that James want me to finish that only a real pilot of the aircraft will notice, which is related to very quick off the FADEC under certain operation circumstances, but that's going to make it on the minor revisions. So probably by 1.1 or so, we're on 1.06, right? That will be reached the market, and then it will be there. And then the one that everyone is asking, you could play the video, so they see that this is actually occurring.
Can I show them that video?
Yeah, please. That was the objective of sending you.
Right, hang on. If you see something in your Discord, don't worry. I'm just trying to keep me notes. You know what I'm like for notes, right? So hang on.
Oh, so that's it. That's the pin they're getting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was people paying for more Discord support.
They're paying for Discord. Right, hang on. We'll bring this over. It's the video now. This is this is currently in development.
Yeah.
Because this is something that we know folks are asking about. They're like, "Hey, is there a way can we move this plane?" And you're like, "Yes." And then it was like, "Jeff, the thing with the yoke," and Jeff's like, "Yeah, got you covered." Like it's mad. Like that's how quick this just kind of happens.
Yes. So obviously, I wanted these by release, but we couldn't manage to get the user interface right. So I thought, no, okay, we'll do it after. But the push truck, remote truck, as we call it, is there, and you can see they're operating. And you will be able then to position your airplane yourself, like you were operating this remote control thing, directly into your hangars, right? Or taking them out, or doing anything you want. You see, then it's gonna lock, it's gonna leave the plane, and then the idea is that you can toggle around the airport. So that's something that is gonna come on a future release. So yes, guys, it's there. I know you're all asking me, and then you have to slew right now into the hangar, but at least you got the plane. You didn't have to wait for 2 more months, right? So
it's incredible because like it's pretty much based on, okay, here's feedback. I better go off and work on this. And the funny thing is, a lot of the feedback you're getting, you're kind of sitting there going, "Yeah, I know, lads. It's built. I'm just waiting to deploy it." Which that's incredible. And I suppose just to touch briefly on this as well, Raul, because a lot of folks who would have seen an aircraft at this level of fidelity in terms of the features and the wow factor when it comes to a simulated add-on, right? A lot of folks were kind of drawing comparisons between this and what is available over in the world of X-Plane, which of course is the Hotstar Challenger. And when I said to you about the Challenger, you're like, "No, Merv, I haven't looked at it. I don't want to look at it. I'm doing my own thing." And you've stuck by that. And it's not to say what they've done is right or wrong or otherwise. You had your own vision to say, "Well, look, this is what I want." And okay, we have similarities now to say, well, okay, we get an FBO kind of feeling from both products, but with yours, you've brought it further because you can share that experience. I mean, the idea even to have custom logos on it and how it attaches itself to the aircraft and all of these things, it's quite incredible to think that's where this has gone. And even with the FBOs, I know you're not finished there either. I mean, that was just kind of like, well, here's the initial release of what we're doing.
That's right. Well, the thing is that I get very worried by getting influence from all the things I see. So I never buy competitors' add-on. I believe that whatever idea I come with has to come from my own mind, because if I don't, then it's not going to have the passion. It's not going to be driven to the principles that how I like to do things, and etc. etc. So I never use Explain. I never heard about Hotstar Challenge except by reference that you did and others did when you guys start saying, "Oh, you're doing things in a level similar to this." Well, in that case, I will imagine that genius minds think alike or something. I have no idea what to say, but it all come from my own kind of imagination, and was mostly influenced because James and Brian was just teasing me constantly. It was just, I should send you these pictures. It was like, "Have you fixed that bug I told you?" Because I'm sitting here having ice cream, and this beautiful building. And I'm like, "No, I'm still on my desk without seeing the sun for 7 days. Thank you very much." So I thought, okay, fine. I can make my own fantasy on Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that's where it all comes from. Because I've never been in a private jet. I never had the luxury to be in a private jet. There was a Phenom on. That was a display at the last flight sim show that happened last year in the UK, and I went there and begged the guy to let me in and say, "Oh, the pilot is not here." We waited for 45 minutes and the guy never showed up, and then my daughter started saying, "Daddy, I'm tired," whatever, and then we just left. We didn't have the chance even to get into a real Phenom. I haven't been yet inside of a real Phenom to this day. So what I'm creating is, in my mind, is something that I can use it to dream, right? And you cannot dream a dream that doesn't look good. You take your dreams as far as you can. That's what drives me, right? So the whole idea of this is that I position this particular FBO, I position it aside in a place that I can see the mountains and a lake and the trees, and then I just sit there and watch, and I think, there you go. Now I am having my FBO and my jet, right? Because there's no way in hell I'm gonna buy a Phenom ever, right? so for the moment, this is my fantasy, and that's what it is. It's about making all this stuff a dream that you can live on. It's very important. Everyone lives their lives so fast, and we go through so much struggles, and none of us, most of the people in the world, aren't able to fulfill their dreams. So in my view, this is what we bring something that you can make your own dream, and have that hour of the day after whatever happened to you, your boss told you whatever, and then you're really upset. You go home, you get into this thing, and you forget the world for 2 hours, and that's just invaluable. And I want to give that to people. So we have to build it right. We have to make it great. I know a lot of people on consoles want this. Rest assured, we're gonna bring you the FBOs to the console. We just need to work now to tweak the RAM for the consoles, nail down, and you're gonna have FBOs. We cannot bring you logos, but it's something I have on my mind that I'm gonna try to discuss with certain people and see what we can do. But at the very least, you're going to have the FBOs, and you can have the normal logo that you see there, or you can hide it, and then you have your building, right? But the plan is to bring all this technology to both consoles, and it will work. As simple as that. It will work exactly as it works on PC. No issues at all. That's the whole plan.
And it's incredible, like, because right. So where we are tonight, Raul, this is I know Practically Geek, who's here in the chat. He showed off this landscape as well, right? So this is an upcoming upgrade from NZA Simulations. They do a lot of sceneries in New Zealand, and these are top notch. They create some beautiful backdrops and the detailing they have, and the fact that you can freely and easily just inject the FSReborn FBOs into these locations, I think it brings so much more value to any scenery, be it default or payware, because when you, especially for us as flight simmers, we all have our favorite sceneries, right? We all have our favorite locations, and you've given us a way for us to take complete ownership of this area now, because we can plant in FBOs and the tree styles we have. Or if you want to get, and I did it in Shannon, right? I must have 8 different hangars just to see what I could do with the limitations, and 8 massive hangars all beside each other, and I've put buildings beside each other, and it's incredible what you can actually do with this, and it does give you a great sense of ownership. I mean, this is my place, and as you say, you come back in from a day's work, or at school or whatever, life is throwing you grief. You can just escape, chill out. What a beautiful world we have in the sim natively, but to keep us there is the challenge. You know what I mean?
That's
like
right.
to keep us active in that space, it's a developer's challenge from day one. It's like, okay, how do we make sure or ensure people want to keep using this? And there are developers that you just can't be compared against, because that's not their objective. The developers who are trying to get the best experience to the end user, well, these are the guys that I think have been the most successful in flight sim. And it's this element which has never been done before, ever. If you wanted to do this level of stuff, you either had to get into software development yourself or have a pretty good imagination. For you to have this in there, it's incredible.
The idea was to make it very easy for people. I mean, the whole point is that I was a flight sim user for years, and you fly normally your route prior to VATSIM and all the add-ons that we have now, like Volanta and all that kind of things. You used to be very fixated on the way you were flying. You were flying your favorite routes because you know that you have 1 hour to fly before your kids come over and then tell you, can you help me with the homework or whatever? It's his life. So you would do your own routes, and it would be like, okay, Gatwick to Cannon or whatever. the whole concept in my mind was, okay, I can install my own FBOs in these common airports I used to go. I have built my own base of operations. Now, unlike James and Brian, they cannot tell me anymore that they're sitting on FBO. Look, I have my own, Brian. Look, Brian, I have my fan with my logo, Brian. You see?
I have a fish tank. It's like, there's
I'm
even a fish tank. Like,
yeah, show me now one with a fish tank, Brian. There you go.
I love that. I love that.
So the whole concept was that you, as a user, you build your own thing. There is a feature that we're gonna put on the FBO utility, where it's gonna determine where you have installed all of them. It's gonna show you the maps, so you get that like the warm up, like our liners, right, with your lines going around. That didn't manage to be one, but that was something planned as well, right? So for example, there are more stuff we're gonna add. We're gonna add more buildings, for example. There is a concept of fixing a thing that we're looking at when you put the GPU inside FBO. If you have lift tape, it's sinking to the ground, and just noticed that because people were streaming and I just saw it. So that's something I have to fix. But that's the challenge of this. A lot of people are asking, can you make this a standalone? I have to work with this for a while to get all the tech ready before even thinking of it. Okay, the concept that this was burned into was, you want to have private pilot experience. Now you have it, right? This is it. This is what they do. They get these FBOs, and this particular executive hangar was to give you the sense that you are the mega rich person that can buy a hangar in an airport. It's very common in America, actually, in these hubs. That people buy these hangars, and then you have your plane, you have your car there, and this is the place that you come and chill, and then you invite your friends and you fly out. One thing for certain is that we're going to expand it to be useful by all the FSReborn aircraft once this is nailed down. So any plane on the fleet will be able to access this. The next feature we're going to keep coming probably faster than anything else will be the ability to share them. So the concept will be for BAs, for example. You build all your FBOs with the custom logo, and you deploy the custom logo mods as you have done yours. And then you click export from the utility panel. It will give you a file. You give it to all your VA members. Here is our base operations around the world. And they go and then click import, and then they have them done.
Wow.
At that point, because everyone have them, if you are doing a group fly as a VA, you're all seeing the same thing. So you will be able to see everything together, right? So without the need to use multiplayer, because you are sharing the location, and all their Phenoms will spam it and then see it on the same place, right? And same configuration. So imagine you have fireflies, and you do 10 of them around the world, and you have them all set up properly. You will export it, put it for people, they go import it, and they see that. And they can add their own after, right? It doesn't mean that they cannot, but they will have yours in there, so it's ready for them to see it.
That's going to be incredible. And again, Raul, do you know the controls or the sim commands when it comes to like opening doors and the blinds and all of this? Are they using kind of the usual languages in like SimVars or LVARs? Could they, in theory, be programmed to a keybind, perhaps?
Not within the MSFS SDK. You could create some SPATnet profiles or AAO, or
I think
you could use Flow, or you could use Flow Pro to create the scripts and things like that. And then you just trigger the LVARs. But at that point, you're on your own, because my panel is very lightweight.
Yeah.
And it will not know what you have done. And then when you spawn again, it might cause a problem. It will not save, right? That's why we're giving you a panel, because the reason to be a panel, so people are asking, is because in Microsoft 2024, clickable spots are very constrained on how they're designed. You can click the plane upside with one set of different code, and you can click objects inside the plane with different set of codes. But to have something like this that you can do on drone cameras, on Avatar, or any chase plane camera, or whatever tool, it has to be a panel like this. because then you can open it or pop it to a second window or whatever, and then you can use it. So I thought, no, this is the best. They just open, select what FBO they want to control, and then they can control whatever. I mean, what's the easiest? I mean, ideally, what you want is, in my ideal world, would have been that I go to the door and I click the handle, right? And then it opens, right? But at the moment, I can't do that. Doesn't mean no in the future. I think if people prove to Microsoft how popular this is and how much they like it, they will be very open for me asking for functionality to expand that, and then I don't see why they wouldn't. Obviously, depending on their resources and how long it will take them, that's a different thing. They always take positive feedback. It's just obviously they have their roadmaps and the timelines are ready for other things, and they have to stick to those, right? It's not like you ask for something now and it's going to happen now. That's not how it works.
I will say this though. I mean, what you've built here is, and the fact that this is native, I mean, this just shows you what can be done by following the rule book from Microsoft, if you like, in Asobo. What you've done here is created an environment, you've created an experience that no one's done before. And I think by doing so, anyone talks about this aircraft add-on, the aircraft is superb, but everyone's going to mention the FBOs are just like, because it's so new. We haven't experienced that. You know what I mean? So I would hope that folks do give a lot of feedback for this, especially on the likes of the forums where Microsoft have eyes on. I mean, that's where this thing needs to be shouted from, to say, like, what you've created here. And if anything, Raul, I mean, for you, I mean, this is very much like a quick test to see, well, how did this go? Right. And I think it's incredible. And the doors, that's a terrible pun, but like the doors this can open, because it's all about getting that experience.
We already have plans of something that we're going to be building totally different. That's not going to be a surprise. I think people are going to love that. But I get a lot of inspiration from my daughter, because I see what she does. She's a video game addict. And obviously in this house, we're not going to tell a child I cannot play video games. I mean, that would be like telling the child of a carpenter, what are you doing with a hammer? So I do pay attention what she likes to do. I take a lot of inspiration from what she does. Our conversations on Sundays are quite funny, because she talks about her video games, and I just sitting listening. She's there hugging me. And then she tells me, that this happened on this new game that I'm playing, this and this and that. And then I pay attention, because this is the new generation, and they know what it is. You know, so a lot of what you see on the FBOs come from what she's doing. And it is basically, she's building her own worlds.
Yeah.
And that's what, every time that she's playing any video game that she builds her own worlds, she's addicted for it. Like, you know, it's crazy. So that's really what it is. Build your own world and show me what you can do. And people are coming to the Discord channel, just showing pictures and things. I just amazed, you know, because I go around and I put my own FBOs, but the stuff that these people are doing is like, wow, okay, that's a nice spot. Where did you put that one? Can you give it to me? So obviously that's why the inspiration of let people do what they want is very important. And yeah, I'm not opposed to give L bars and stuff. I mean, that means that you're gonna enjoy wear a belt, and then you're gonna do other stuff on top. I mean, what's the problem?
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless I know that it will go wrong. Like, I know if I give the L bars of the FPOs, yeah, you will be able to work, but then it will not save it. So you will run into trouble. Like, I opened the door, Raul, now I'm spawning, and that doesn't work. Well, you went upside of the interface. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the player, I give all the L bars. People connect custom Cockpits and do all sort of things.
But that's the thing, as you said. I mean, you mentioned Flow. I think Flow for a lot of users is far better, because I mean, with Flow we can just add one of the commands from the FSR utilities. So I mean, that'll definitely do it. Again, like, okay, so that's the FBOs to one side. With the aircraft itself, and you know, this you know, you didn't just build the aircraft. It wasn't like, I'm going to make a very accurate, Phenom. I'm going to base this on the accuracy and just the feedback that you got from pilots and you know, ground crew and everyone else. You took it a stage further because, well, you've included things like the refueling truck. You've included, you know, damage and things that could go bang, right? And then you have this passenger thing. And I remember Gibbo had a comment there a while ago. He was saying, you know, you were talking about this kind of modular world whereby you'd kind of have the base and then everything becomes modular after that. And we can kind of see this because you know, this is much different, but there's familiarity with the FSR 300E to the FSR 500. There's familiarity, as you say. You know, you've already put in the building blocks.
Yeah.
Now you just go on from there.
Basically, what we're building is technology that can be moved forward and then make it better and better and better as you go.
Mm-hmm.
The objective, overall, the roadmap of FSReborn as a global in years is that people should have all the type of experiences available within flight sim as close as possible to the real world.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I'm going to do an airliner, and then you need to have an airliner experience. If you follow how we started with ultralight,
the Sting S4.
Sting S4, where we were showing people that an ultralight is how most people start learning to fly,
mm-hmm.
right? And the challenge on that one was that, okay, you have an emergency parachute, and no one has done an emergency parachute in Microsoft Flight Simulator at that time. I say, okay, well, I'll go for it. Let's see what I can do. And we did, right? And that was important because we were nobody. We just came from making a special lights for P3D.
Mm-hmm.
And I approached a lot of people when we were when I was thinking, what the hell am I going to do? P3D is gone. And was thinking, okay, I'm going to do an aircraft. And I approached a couple of partners at the time, let's make an aircraft. And most of them were like, well, you have never made an aircraft before, this and that. And, you know, I love when people shut doors on my face because it's like, it makes my nukes inside of passion like go like thermonuclear. I said, okay, fine, I'll show you then. So we did that. And when I find out that I could do a parachute, when I read SDK, I thought, okay, I do one, and we did. And then obviously the next progression was what? Well, you are flying ultralights, either you move toward Cessnas and things like that,
mm-hmm.
or you move toward turboprops. I thought, okay, fine. And that's how FS400 was born. Then I would release the second ultralight because a lot of people were asking, you did such a nice ultralight, please don't abandon GA. Guys, even with our liners, we're not going to abandon G8s. They are already on the queue, a lot of them. It's just we're going to do being kind of flipping between one another, right? So to bring variations. So no, it's not like I'm going to release another private jet in 6 months. No, we're going to release probably a small GA, and then we're going to release suddenly a regional, and then we go back to GA, and then suddenly another private jet comes out, and suddenly an airliner comes out. But the whole concept is that we want to bring the experiences of each. My biggest fantasy is the airline experience, because obviously when I was a flight simulator user, I was flying all sort of things, right? And that's something that I'm building up to. So when you see those small cramps, that you really pay attention how the systems depth from one aircraft release in 2021, I believe, I don't know, to now. Okay, what is he doing? Well, he's building up, right? I'm not going and saying I'm going to make an airliner and then come with some sort of thing that doesn't work and call it pro. I'm actually building something that I can come out and say, this is an airliner experience with pro. And yes, you have now buildings, and you have these trucks, and you have these passenger simulation, and you have these anti-icing that he's planning to do, and you have these pushback that he's planning to do, and you are having these GPUs that he's injecting, CARPEX and cons, right? Everything is coming together. When he reaches the airliner, the whole objective is that you don't need anything.
Yeah,
you have your airliner with everything you need, and everything with the SDK, because it means that it will be supported up to 2 or 3 flight simulators interactions. Remember that Sting S4, FS500, TL3000, they are still 2020 planes, and they work absolutely flawless in 2024 because it's all done with proper SDK. There is nothing invented in there, right? And yes, they're going to be converted for free because then you get more features on top. But the whole point is that if you buy something from us, it's going to last you for a long, long time. You know, I imagine a new flight simulator comes up. yes, changes will be required, but because we're following the SDK as it should be, it's easier to jump into it, right? Rather than, oh my God, that's it, I can't do it, I need to start from scratch. That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. So we're building up all these modules to be able to offer at the end an entire package, just like I have done here. Give you an entire package where you say, I just bought this R-liner. And the whole thing have everything. I don't need anything else. It just does everything.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you need. Because you all guys are tinkering with Microsoft Flight Simulator so much that you are not flying, right? You have to load a product and fly. That's the whole thing of a Microsoft Flight Simulator, rather than saying, I need to configure now this. I need to link it now to this.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to link it to that. Oh, I don't have a profile for this add-on now to make it work. Oh, it takes you 10 hours before you can fly the jet to the first time.
Yeah.
What is all that about? And then you have the console users. Consoles are incredibly important for me. And we're very, very, very inclusive of console users in our Discord server. And every time that someone comes and tries to say something that discourages that, we put them down because they're incredibly important for us. And it's important that I tell this story again because people forget. I wanted to be a real pilot. I come from a country where if you want to be a real world pilot, it costs you 5 to 10 mortgages of a house. So basically, it's just impossible unless you go into military school and you join the Air Force. Okay, I was born. I was playing with little aircraft since I'm 4 years old. So it was the dream of my life to be a pilot. It's all I could think about it. And every time I was flying with my parents somewhere, it was just like, Raul has to sit on the window, whatever. When I was 16, it was my time to join the academy military school. So I could then start studying and qualify to pass all the medicals, everything, and then become part of the Air Force. And eventually we will be trained on Albatros, and then you will go into F-16. And I have an accident playing baseball, and someone smashed my nose, totally shattered it. And because that event, I was rejected from the medical. And obviously, we're talking, so many years ago. I'm 49, and we're talking when I was 16. There were different times where the requirements in the country require that you don't have any fractures, because otherwise, when you go into the U forces training, they could reopen.
Yeah.
If you have fractures, there have to be at that time the requirement to be like 7 years, 8 years cure. I just had a fracture on the nose, which is so, delicate.
Yeah.
So I was rejected. And when that happened, my dreams died. I'm a 60-year-old kid that had been dreaming to be a pilot all entire life. And now someone tells you it's not going to happen. And I know that my parents don't have the money. I know I don't have the money. What are you going to do? I went to severe depression. It was horrible.
Wow.
Right? You don't know what to do with your life because all you've been planning is just chatter. And at that age, it's a very hard thing to pass through. My dad was working for an organization that sent him to travels a lot, and he managed to get to United States in a travel. And what he did is he brought to me one Atari 7800 and one Commodore 16. And he bought around 10 games, all related to flight simulation, combat games, whatever he could find. And he came home and he gave it to me. And he said, never give up your dreams because there is always a way to live them.
That's
And
beautiful.
that changed my life.
That
changed my life. I became addicted. The first game I played wasn't the Atari 7800, it was the F-14 Tomcat. I was hot top to that thing all day, right? And then, he was very clever. He gave me this Commodore 16 because the Commodore 16 allowed you to have a keyboard attached to your TV, and then you could actually write some code. I know now what he was trying to do. He was telling me, you can't fly the thing, build your own. That's what he was trying to say, right?
Yeah.
And then he came and sit with me and then started telling me, look, these allow you to do this kind of softwares and stuff. And that's how I became a software engineer.
That's crazy, man.
Okay. And I started developing software when I was around 18, 19 years old. I jumped into a job once I was 20, so I could pay for my university and become a software engineer because I thought one day I'm gonna make something related to flight simulation.
Mhm.
And here I am. If it wasn't for those consoles, you guys would not have a Phenom today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, because I would have probably just become a pilot or something else, or probably just that's how teenagers think.
That's
But
incredible.
now because of that, I manage. So I know somehow whatever I'm building, it has to be perfect because I am absolutely certain, I am 1000% certain that from everyone out there that have bought any of my planes,
Mhm.
at least one person have changed their outlook in life due to what I have done.
Mhm.
At least one. And if I manage that, I won.
Job's done. Job's done. Yeah.
Okay. So I know that had to happen. And people on consoles are people like us
Mhm.
that wants to have their dreams. Everything, I was one. So it is incredibly important for me. I hate it when someone comes on my Discord server and say, "Oh, we're having a war simulator because of console." Man, you are having this product I built for you because I was a console user at one point in my life.
Mhm.
Okay, so don't believe that consoles are detrimental for our hobby. They're the best thing that could happen because I'm telling you, I know a lot of people that have used Xbox now they have a PC.
Mhm.
Yeah, because they got their feet wet and they love it and they know they can drive more out of it, but they will,
Mhm.
and so that's very important. So that's the story of how Raul became a software engineer, how I started doing things for Prepare 3D and stuff. That's a different one. And then we ended up doing aircraft, and here we are.
That's
And
incredible. And you're,
when I'm going to stop.
like it's gas when you think about it, because look, the reality is this: for a lot of people, console is the only entry into this incredible hobby that we have. And like, for how many years, flight simming on console, I mean, your only real answers back in the days were like your Ace Combats, or again, kind of the shooter stuff, right? Because there was arcade moments and whatnot. A civilian-based flight simulator, really? That's, but the importance is, for a lot of people, that is their only avenue to get into this hobby. But it didn't just stop at that, though. I mean, as I say, it's all about experiences. You want to build experiences.
That's it.
And we get that in bucket loads with this feature. I mean, we've got it all the way along through your products. Like, I remember the Sting S4, and like when you had said to me, there's a parachute on it, I was like, yeah, that's funny. No, there actually was a parachute on it. And then with the FSR, that was incredible, because it was looking at that detailed simulation, again, done through a native SDK, of how that engine behaved, and you had cushions that moved around, and you'd cabin, your passengers didn't like you, and what's all this, and then we saw with the TL3000, which was just another beautiful ultralight airplane, high wing, beautiful views out the sides, and now we have this, which is, for a lot of people, this is. There's something about this aircraft. As I say, is it because you've combined it with the FBOs? Is it because it follows the real world procedures and feedback from?
It is. I tell you what it is. It is what I call the combination of all the stupid things I come with together, and we and we call it at the internal teams the FSR level. That's how we call it, because it's like, when you have so many little details together in once, you are giving something that makes it feel alive. I have to put my daughter to sleep, so if you give me a 5 minutes advert, I will be there. You want to be here, Emilia? Emilia, come here.
You're grand.
They want to meet you. Okay, you're gonna be here. A lot of people.
How are you?
He's asking, "How are you?" Say, she will hear you. Okay, so they know I'm gonna put you to bed, and then I'm gonna come back for the rest of the interview. Okay? Yeah. Tell them what was the favorite color of the planes that we were selecting? Was it the black one, right?
I don't remember the
You
colours.
don't remember now? It was too long. 2 years ago, right? Yeah. She chose the black livery, the black ops, because I showed it to her, and she was like, "Yeah, that one is cool."
How do you remember?
Because I remember everything. All right.
Go on, we'll see you in a few minutes.
I'll be back in 5 minutes, yeah?
Take your time, take your time. Absolutely incredible stuff. What an insight as well. Like, I mean, look, we you know, when I see this thing, and I was warned, Murph, you have to read the manual on this. It's like, it's grand, sure, it's me. And then I was like, oh, come here now. And of course I did what everyone else did. That's wrong, I shouldn't do that. And then you're just told, did you read did you check? Oh, yeah. Right. So while Raul is out, we're here. This beautiful backdrop, by the way. This beautiful backdrop. This is from NZA Simulations. It's an update coming to Mount Cook region. And it's very fitting that we're here with the Phenom, because it was this location that was used during the trailer for the FSR 500. Now, NZA, we've recently showcased some of their other works, especially with Wanaka. This scenery is releasing very, very soon. There's an upgrade path just like Wanaka, and I gotta say, it is absolutely incredible. I won't. Where is this now? I will. I have some notes here I just want to go through briefly, and then we'll jump straight back to Raul there. But it's a nice segue that we can get this covered now as well. Has anyone used this? Anyone used Mount Cook region before in the sim? So it's incredible. It's not too far from, you know, you fly from Queenstown, and it's just incredible, man. So hang on there now. We get. I just want to open a quick file with a couple of notes, and then we're going to jump straight back to Raul. So there we go with buttons. That's going to appear somewhere, wherever it appears. There we go. Come over here. Right, so the pro line of Mount Cook region. All right. So there's going to be a 20% upgrade discount for existing owners.
To introduce.
There's buttons. Alison Johnson's here with a raid. Ali, welcome in. Thank you very much indeed. Jason does more of it. I turned the alerts off because I didn't want Raul getting disturbed. It's been a mad night. Ali in with 10 gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you very, very much indeed, Alison. So lovely to see you. And well, welcome in. Thank you so very much. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Alison Johnson, do be sure to say thank you. Again, I just want to cover this briefly because NZA they've been very good to us with the latest updates, and I know Practically Geek has shown this off as well. So what we get Mount Cook Airport, which is here, NZMC. It also includes Glen Tanner. Then we have the Twizel Medical Centre heliport, the Mount Cook Village Emergency Dock or DOC operations. We spoke about DOC with the Limbics there a week or two ago, and it also has all the huts, and they're rebuilt using the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 SimProp system for higher visual fidelity. There is a massive region with this. You'll see it here in the map. I'll bring it over. They've included tons upon tons. You have all these different huts that go all the way up through Mount Cook, of course, the tallest the mountain out there, and all these different huts. There's all different glacier landing zones. I flew over this a couple of weeks back. It was just incredible. And then you have all the different runways that we can get to as well. We've checked this out extensively in the 2020 version, but the great news is now a 2024 native version is on the way, and it's going to be an upgrade path. New owners, it's going to be €18.99, and as I said, for existing owners, it's going to be available for a 20% discount as well. So yeah, it's just a beautiful scenery, and it's a great backdrop when you look at the likes of the Phenom there. But again, there's all the interiors done. It's 100% accurate. Like even the choppers and stuff. I have flyers that I got when I was in New Zealand, and they're the same ones here. And it was something, as I said, when we were showcasing the FSReborn FBOs. I mean, when you have a region like this, your favorite area in the sim, and then you can suddenly inject your own FBO. I mean, lads, isn't that such a powerful way to just give you that bit of ownership, just put you into that entire scenery? As Raul said, you come back from like a hard day at the office, or maybe just it's been a tough week, and you can just chill at your own pad. It's absolutely incredible stuff. So it's a beautiful scenery. We're going to plan some flights out of here soon. We also have our beautiful maintenance hangar, and it's all fully modeled. It is absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to jump back now to the FSR 300E, and we'll check in with Raul to make sure he's still there. He's still there.
I am here.
Hang on, I'll press the button, get you back. Oh, look, there you're back now.
Okay.
That was a great segue. Jeez, it's how smooth we managed that as well, Ray. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, it's pros.
So we were talking about the experiences, and as you know, it was more than just the aircraft. In terms of the realism, having to follow checklists, having to follow the correct flows, and some of the obvious things that aren't very obvious. I mean, the engine covers, it's not just, a button says the engines are now damaged. You said, no, I want to model this getting, sucked into the turbofan. But that's only part of the story, because all the different experiences.
That I do those things. I don't put on the chain lock on the Vitas. I just wait for the guys just to go and blow up, and then
I remember the first thing you told me. He says, Murph, so much, and this is early on. You're like, so many people are going to give out to me and say the plane is broken. I said, why is that? They're going to tell me the landing gear doesn't work. But you said, but it does work. They just haven't figured out I've hidden a lock pin. I was like, wait, what? And that's what it was. I mean, you had the lock pin. So that was the start of all of this.
Yeah,
it's nuts, man.
The lock pin is an interesting story, and I think it's good to talk about it, because some people tell me that's not where the pin goes, and it's true. The pin goes much higher on the plane. Doesn't mean I did it wrong on purpose. I have to make things that you can use, right? If I put it where it goes, we couldn't get to it because the collision of the aircraft, and you can't get through it at the click spot. It's just impossible. So we have to put it in a way that is doable. So that's why I put it there. That's not where it goes in the real aircraft. Yes, I know real pilots, it doesn't go there, but I have to do something that people can use. This is a flight simulator after all. Yeah. It goes up there somewhere. So the real pilot have to bend and go there, and then go with their hand and pull it up. But you can do this on drone camera, but you cannot do it on Avatar. On Avatar, that's how you will take it out. So certain thing has to be adapted for the flight sim. And that's why the conversations get very interesting between the real pilots and me in the background. So they tell me, this is how it's supposed to go. I say, yeah, I know. Okay, how you want me to do it? I know Harry Potter. There certain things have to be workable. Otherwise, we're going to run into troubles, and then people will be upset because they can't do it, right? So that's one of the things that was a challenge, and we decided, no, we're going to put it here then. But most of the 3D, I would say 97% of it is exactly like the real aircraft. There is a minor discrepancy on the circuit breakers, because the 300E changed the way that the circuit breakers work. They are behind the captain. So if we put it there, right, like it is, people will be able to operate the circuit breakers, and you're making an aircraft that will break everything. So we have to make a compromise. Yeah, they will go like that, behind the seat. So you're flying, and you have to, the first officer have to go and assist you. So we have to put it actually where you see them now, because that's how the Classic has it. So we move the brakes. Now you go a little bit further, and then you go at the back. There are ones where the lights are up, 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 up. Now go up, go up, go up.
Up.
You see, that's it. You see?
Yeah.
So we put them there. And there's the reason is there. Right, because again, you have to adapt certain things for the flight sim, right? You cannot do everything 100% like the real aircraft, guys. It's not possible. It's a lie. We're doing high fidelity. That's why we call it high fidelity, because but there are certain compromises you have to do. But all the circuit breakers work. So you start pulling things around, and you have consequences. There is as well a secret circuit break that exists behind the mirror on the real aircraft, where the big components have the circuit breakers. There's one like 200 amps in there, but there was no point simulating those, because in the real life you cannot just take the mirror out. If that happens, you have to land, and then a mechanic has to come and disassemble the wall to get access to it and then do things, right? So obviously then that was like, for V1, that's no point, right? Because people really are not going to go there to pull back in the VCS compressor 200 amp circuit breaker that's hidden behind the mirror wall.
Yeah.
This is the biggest challenge between how you balance realism with a Microsoft Flight Sim at the same time, right? You have limits. But I would like people to think of, imagine how our life was on FS9.
Oh, yeah.
We had 2D panels. We have nothing else around. I love where we are. It's just crazy, right? And it's gonna continue moving on. And as technology keeps being pushed forward, we're going to be able to do more crazy things. I think I have demonstrated that I can do crazy things. So don't worry. When they let me to do more crazy things, I add more crazy things.
I think it was Kat Strader who I heard it from first back in 2020 when he had said, we're living in the golden age of flight simulation, and that's 6 years ago. And I gotta say, I mean, it's still the case to this day. We are very much in the golden age of flight simulation because we have the platforms maturing. We have tons of hardware now catching up, and that's brought the prices down something fierce. But now the caliber of the aircraft that we can see and the features of the aircraft, and for a lot of people, this level of detail that you've incorporated into this product, it surpasses what people are used to. They're just not used to that either complexity or sheer, Jays, if I don't press this, I could have an issue with this aircraft. It catches a lot of people out. And it's not the end of the world. It's like, I can't fly this plane. Like, it's not an impossible aircraft to learn and to fly. It's very easy, in fact, to get in and get flying. Then you have a learning curve. Yeah. Then you have a way to kind of learn more about it. And what's pretty cool about all of this is it's when you start kind of sinking your teeth into this as a beefy add-on, you're saying there's quite a lot that's going on here. And yes, even though you have to make some allowances for flight simmers, I mean, that's always, I think, is the biggest challenge when you look at the real world aircraft versus what a flight simmer wants to do. And like, I've given developers so much crap over this. It's like, I jettisoned the canopy. Yeah, well, you need to restart your flight, but I don't want to restart me flight. I did it by accident, right? And they're like, no, you got to restart the flight. And that's what I'm saying. Well, look, make it more flight simmer friendly. We understand. Give us the option. That's let's go halfway here. Give us the option. Can we have a button that'll fix this? And yours has that. So far as, well, you have a problem, you have an option because you go into your settings and you can say, well, look, do you want the damage on? Do you want the damage off? Okay. Do you want to be able to fix things? Do you want to be able to change the weight and balance in the air? I mean, you have a load of settings here that you can mess around with here.
Yes, people were very, very, let's say very politely, keen that the standby instrument has HPI settings. I send you a bill today, it's going to be pushed tomorrow. You go to the settings.
And here,
I wanted to see that I did it. So settings, go into settings.
Yeah.
On the EFB.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking. You see there where it says AS units. That's new.
AS unit. Where am I looking at that?
Units of measure, the last one.
Oh yes.
Okay, change it to HPA. The last one. Units of measure. You see it?
So that's
it. Okay, and now look at the ICE instrument. No, the one on the top, the standby instrument. The standby instrument, the cage next to the autopilot controls.
Yeah, we have it there. 1013 hectopascals.
There you go. You see, it's done, right?
Oh, wait, I know what you mean. Yeah. Sorry. I was like, what have I done now or broken it? Okay, yeah. Jesus, I didn't even notice that. Right, say nothing. Yeah. I'm great at beta testing, Raul. Don't mind what they say.
There you go. Nice back. Right, so now you can change it. So you see? So, look, guys, making a private jet is so complex. It's as complex as making an airliner. The systems depth that they have is incredible complex. So yeah, sometimes certain things I forget, and I forgot to put that because I thought, look, I make a standby instrument, people are gonna be happy finally because I make a standby instrument. They were drilling me on 2020 when they didn't do it for FS500 due to resources concern. So I thought, now they're gonna be happy because I make a standby instrument, and they drill me because I didn't put HPI option. I was like, I can't win. So here we go. It's done. It's going to be pushed tomorrow, so you can have HPI, and that's it. We can move on to the other complaints that you might have. Okay. So let's talk a little bit of depot simulation. I think people are going to be keen to know something.
Sure.
So you see the MFD right now. You have there open the temperature controls of the plane.
Yes.
So that took me, I would say, 2 months to complete because I wanted to nail down this like as close as possible to the real aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
And what involves is not just understanding how the components of this work on the real aircraft. is how a real aircraft retains and bleed temperature. If you imagine when you are on the ground and it's very hot, you have the sun hitting your windows, you have the heat of the avionics in front of you, and you have two seats of cabin because you have the cockpit and then you have the cabin at the back, and the cabin at the back is larger than the cockpit. But then when you start flying, there's air moving around the aircraft. And then when you start going higher and higher, there is a lot of temperature going through the frame, which is the task temperature, right? It becomes minus 41, minus 36. And as you go faster, then it drops a little bit because the friction causes the air to go a little bit warmer, like 3-5 degrees, which is called the task temp with the task speed. All this is simulated to how the aircraft behave with temperature, everything. So you have what is called a heat exchanger. The heat exchanger uses a compressor and some fans on the ground to take liquid refrigerant, pass it through these things, so they're called evaporators, and then inject cool air. But it has limits. When it's super hot, like 35, 40 degrees, it barely can keep up. So it can take up to 20 minutes to cool down aircraft that was on 40 degrees, 35 degrees to 15. And that's what happened on the real plane. So pilots have these challenges, and they have to turn off the aircraft with a GPU because it requires a lot of power. So you cannot do it on batteries only. It will not run. So it can start cooling off the aircraft, and they have to do it. In Brazil, for example, they will put it 15 minutes running on the GPU or turn on the engine to cool off the aircraft before they put the packs in, because otherwise they will melting down.
That's crazy.
And I have simulated the amount of solar radiation that is hitting the airframe during the day, night, altitude. That influences the heat and the cooling. I have simulated that if you put the shades up and you close the shades, it will cool off the aircraft faster. I have simulated the speed of the aircraft, how much rain air is going through the nacelle, so it can then use that with the heat exchanger and then cool off the aircraft, all that kind of thing. So I remember James and other pilots sent me a couple of videos of heating the aircraft as well, because it could be very cold and you want to heat it. It will not heat up unless you have engine running. So he sent me a video which was around 10 minutes long. I took that video and dissected, and I took the times it took from certain environmental, because he tells me when he sent me video, he tells me today was this amount of millibars, it was this time of the day, and it was 10 degrees outside. So I put down the sim, so I simulated all, and I started coding. And I managed to do the video that he had on 10 minutes to heat the aircraft to the same amount of temperature he had, matching that. That's the kind of things that we're doing here. So there is a lot of people asking on the Discord server, why my aircraft is taking such a long time to cool off? Why my aircraft is taking such a long time to heat up? It's all like this plane is. Temperature management is one of the biggest challenges that these pilots have, because as you are climbing and the air is cooler, you have your sets of control saying leave it to 15 degrees, right? Because it's taking too long to cool off. But now you are flying at 25,000 feet and there is a lot of rain air coming in. Suddenly the aircraft is too cold. So you have to adjust your knobs again, right? And say, no, I want to put it now to 24, 25. And then you go to 45,000 feet and the aircraft might be still too cold because it's minus 65 outside, right? So you have to heat up a little bit more. So you heat the knob. So you are going to need to be constantly moving your temp knobs. It's part of the load to keep your passengers happy, because they hate heat and they hate cold. You have to hit the middle spot and you're not going to be fighting it all the time. And that's realistic. Now, you can ignore the pack simulation if you want. It doesn't have any detrimental to your flight. But I put it there for fun because I heard stories from James and Ryan about their passengers. And I've done everything that they tell me that it happened. So that's the next thing that we simulated, passenger simulation behaviors. So the whole concept of that is thinking not only of the jet experience, but thinking as well ahead of the future products that we're going to build on the modular side of things.
Mhm.
And I wanted to bring that to the sim in a way to give people a flavor of what it is to deal with passengers when you're on a VIP jet. You can have people that are so excited that is the first time on a private jet that they don't care what's happening. They just like, a puppy dog. Oh my God, this is my own seat. So if hot, cold, it will not care because it has that kind of personality. And you will have the other extreme, which is the guy that is used to fly private jets all the time and is expecting you to have everything ready for him at the moment that he jumps into the cabin. And what do you mean that it's 30 degrees? This is unacceptable, what is my drink?
Yeah.
That kind of is a concept. This is what happened. Experiences of things I heard from them. And then you have the personalities in between.
Mhm.
So I built 12 different personalities of passengers that you could have, and it will be all random. And they will have basic needs. I'm hungry, I am cold, I'm hot. And yes, I can see a lot of people in this car like, I can never make them happy. But that's true because you have 12 personalities in there, all mixed up. And one of them hates the heat, one of them hates the cold. Ladies, for example, are more inclined to have it warmer, where males are more inclined to have it cooler. That's how we are. That
Yeah.
is not true in any office, right? So this is the thing. You need to find the right spot, and you have to kind of manage your temperature constantly. And James complains about this on this plane all the time. He says, "Oh my God, these knobs have to keep moving them and adjusting them." Sometimes he goes into manual mode because he can open the valves himself and then regulate the temperature a little bit more to what he believes it should be to hit the targets. That's all simulated like the real aircraft. So there's a lot of code behind this.
I was
These are all
watching. I was watching. I think it was Kenko's stream, and he had the same. He had an issue where all his passengers started to go to sleep,
Yes.
and it was to do with the pressurization.
Yeah.
Like
That's right.
That's the level this thing is at. I remember hearing a story. I think,
Correct.
wasn't it Tom Cruise said this story about he was flying somewhere and they they forgot about the pressurization in the back and it's like the guy he passed out. You can do that with this plane. I was like, what? It's crazy.
They complain as well if you are descending too fast
Mhm.
because it will say my ears are popping. They will complain on a long flight that they don't have any Wi-Fi. They will complain if the toilet is not working, of course. They will complain if your cabin is not clean. It's all written on the manual because I knew that people would be curious to understand what the hell is all this. So I was very specific of putting in there what could make them happy. But it's all based on that kind of thoughts of giving something a little bit of flavor of what people are. You guys have flu, every time someone sits on the aircraft, at least from 100 passengers, at least 5 are starving the moment they sit in and they start putting the food out. At least 10 of them needs the toilet immediately after they board the aircraft, right? And then they're like, oh, come on, can I go to the toilet? And everyone's trying to sit on their seats and you have the guy that wants to go to the toilet. All that kind of stuff is coded to a certain level in there. So you get that kind of flavor. So you will hear the passengers opening and closing these doors and lifting the seat and then flushing it.
But it wasn't even enough that you modelled the sound, which you have, which actually modelled the water. You can see it go down the drain. It's nuts.
So you will be sitting on the cabin and then you notice something, you hear the flush. It's because passengers are going by themselves, opening the door, spending some random time in there, and then coming out. So all that is simulated as well.
Crazy.
Part of giving you something to do when you're on your cruise. Otherwise, you're just watching the magenta line doing nothing. This way now you have things to look for around the aircraft. You can feed them. They will make a mess of the whole plane sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you don't clean it and then you call new passengers, they will complain about it. They will tell you this plane is disgusting, and things like that. So it's all over there. So that is another part that is highly simulated on there. And then we have the whole thing about the failures. If you enable everything, and when I'm saying everything on the settings, which is what people are doing without reading the manual, by the way.
Yeah.
you can have up to 135 different circuits failing at any point.
Wow.
Okay, and if you turn it all off, then it doesn't. Then I have something on top, which is that one that says random.
Mm-hmm.
So you enable that, the aircraft will take the 135 different batches of circuits that you have, plus all the physical components. And then you're going to tell it how often you want this. So let's say, for instance, you say every 1 hour. Every 1 hour, it will trigger one. The next hour, another. And then the next hour, another. If you're having a 4-hour flight, what will happen is, I cannot tell you what, because it's very organic. It will pick one of the 135 failures available and trigger up to 5.
Wow.
Okay? And then the next hour is going to do it again. And then the next hour is going to do it again until you land. Or it could happen when you are on ground, actually. So you get a mail, as they call, because something will not work before you even take off. And these random failures are like this. So they are called tiers. This is explained in the manual as well. So you have tiers A, C, D. So a tier A, for example, is something very simple like the cabin lights are not working. Okay? And this is linked to the passenger simulation. So for example, if the cabin lights are not working and you're having a night flight and one of them want to work, it will be unhappy because it's going to tell you, I can't turn on the lights here on this plane to be able to use my laptop. Or another tier, it could be the toilet. So they want to go to use the toilet and they find the toilet is not flushing. And they go and put a comment saying, incredible. I have a VIP jet for myself. And what has to happen? The toilet doesn't work. Right? All that is embedded. The failures as well fit into the pack simulation in a way that if you have an engine failure during the flight, they will panic. And they will start saying, is this normal? I heard the engine sound change. Is this okay? And if you don't address them with the PI announcement saying everything is okay, I know what it is, the panic level continues to rise until they're pretty much about to faint. So you have to address the failure and tell them everything is okay, even when it's not, right? Which is where you see the emergency.
Yeah.
So that's when you tell them, we have an emergency, boy, but everything is going to be fine. Don't worry. And then if you manage to restart the engine, you get extra point because you inform them. And then they know that you have dealt with it. And when you land, they were going to give you an extra review because you were able to handle the emergency. So it's a lot of little things like this behind everything. If you have bad turbulence, they get affected by bad turbulence as well. So, for example, I measure your G-forces, the weather, the amount of rain that's going through the airframe. So they senses it too. So they would say like, oof, it's raining pretty bad. Is this okay? And then they get anxious. And there are 12 different personalities. So the guy that is new to flying on private jets doesn't care. He's happy that he's in a private jet. And it doesn't matter that you have gust winds of 30 knots upside, where the guy that is the VIP and has done this a lot, he knows that he's in trouble. It's like, this pilot better handle this weather better, right? So this is the reason you guys can't keep up sometimes with the passengers, because they're all different personalities. What worked for you on flight A and you thought, this is how I keep them happy, is not going to work on flight B. No, every single flight is different. And it's exactly what happened to real pilots out there. So that's the whole concept of the simulations passenger. And once again, this is something that you can use for your entertainment. This page, you go there and then you watch what's going on, and they're all going to be reacting to your level of flying, how you land, what you're doing, the failures of the aircraft, etc. Or you can say, this is not for me, I just want to fly. Ignore the page, just don't go there, right? You just don't use it, and you can fly your plane like pretty much you want to fly any other product. But it's there for you. And the feedback I'm getting from people that were saying, this is a mimic, I don't want to use this, that they're now hot up. Because when they see the salmon cowl is on their aircraft, they immediately start clicking, hold on, what is he thinking, right? And I built all this, and I found myself looking at it all the time. And I thought, that's it. I built something that people are going to like. Because if I am the developer and I'm looking at it all the time, it means that it is something, So you fly and you start using it. And it's just like so much fun to see what they're thinking, what they're doing. People are being asking if they can put their own passengers' names and everything. That could be a cool thing that we could do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's locked into certain names that I put there random. So it's randomizing, so you don't see the same people all the time. So it randomized between it's using a randomizer of the name based on the country you are, and then it does like last names and names. So you never get. It's very hard to see the same names unless they are VIPs.
Yeah.
So the shades, right? So if you see what happened is that you could have a passenger in that front seat and then a passenger on this seat, and there is like a common shade between them. They fight for it. So if he's it's for real. So if it is very hot, or one of them wants to sleep, you will see they closes both.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the other one is like, well, I want to see upside, and opens the middle again. So you're flying and you hear them going.
Yeah.
And it's because they're going to sleep or fighting between the shades in there, and then they will have what is called interactions. So if you pay attention and you're opening the cards of what they're thinking, I think there is a message when one passenger tells the other, "Can you please leave the shade alone?" Right? So this all happens there, and it's just to give you a flavor of you are in the real world, and it's all from the concept that we've been talking since we started the interview. I want you to get here and immerse yourself like, right, I forget about everything that's happening in my life for 3-4 hours because this thing is so much real, so much fun that it's just wonderful.
And it's like even the temperature, they'll actually close these blinds if it's too warm.
Yes, that's right.
So
you guys can do the experiment next time you board it. Let the plane go to 40 degrees and colding in. You will see how immediately they start complaining, and then all the chasers start like they're like desperate. Well, like, where is my aircon, right?
Yeah.
So all the ice cold, yeah. So that's another big part. Someone asked, big personality code base. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like 100 lines of code, 100,000 lines of code, something that I put in there just to try to make it very realistic.
Like for the aircraft overall, Raul, like is it up there? Are you talking millions of lines of different coding? Millions.
Easily. Because one of the things is that people have this imagination or concept, I would say. People have the concept that the SDK is one thing. Okay? Or the SDK is one thing that they use. And that's not how it works. The SDK is a whole bunch of different things you can use. There is an SDK for avionics. There is an SDK for 3D. There's an SDK for utilities like the FBOs. There is an SDK for what is called C++, which is WASM basically, which allows you to do certain things. And if you have a clear goal in your mind of what you want to achieve, you might end up using all of them in combination. Or you could be doing something very simple and you only need one. Okay? And it's up to the developer to use whatever they need to use to achieve a goal. So between all the SDKs together that we use, so we use every single one of them, all of them are in use in this product. There is probably 2-3 million lines of code.
Wow, that's crazy.
Easy. And it's done in a way that you don't see a performance drop. The performance issues that were reported for us on Monday is related to something else, or how the VRAM is handled in the system. I tweaked things for SU5 because things happen. SU4, sorry, and SU5 came, and then we didn't notice it because my machine had more than 12 gigabyte of VRAM, and then it doesn't get hit by that. It was a very set of conditions that were triggering it. We identify it, and then we address it with our magic powder FSR, and here we go. It all works, right? One of the reasons that we were able to put so much line of code is MSF 2024. If I did this plane the way I did on 2020, it will be a product unusable. It will be impossible to use. And why is that? One of the things that they did on 2024 is that you can address variables and sim bars directly in memory now. You don't have to use middleware to change sim bars.
Okay.
If you know how, right? So basically, in 2020, when you're using FSR 500 and I'm changing the turboprop variables, it has to pass through 2 layers to achieve the variable. Okay, on 2024, they remove that, and you have the ability to reach it immediately. So my update times on WASM, I monitor that with well-known developer practices, and it has to be on a slow machine below 100 milliseconds, because otherwise you start seeing stutters. Right? That's my personal experience, and that's what I aim for. So every time that we're doing some code, it's always optimized that the entire cycle of the entire module, that means if I have 1 million lines of code, it has to execute in less than 100 milliseconds. That's my rule.
And does that mean it's less susceptible then for WASM errors, or?
It just means that you will not suffer stutters.
Yeah.
That's what it means. So the code I have, because I tested it, on Phenom running on 2020 will run on 350 milliseconds round trip.
Mm-hmm.
On 2024 runs on 0.012 milliseconds.
Jeez. Wow.
Because I can access the memory directly.
Yeah.
Right? I can change variables directly. So that's the improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand this because they're not technical, and that's why I do these streams to talk about it, so they hear from the developers that are using this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I said I'm not going to do this for 2020, because I wanted to bring you something incredible. And if I have to do that, then I have to cut off features. It's no other option. So the high simulation that we put on, for example, on the failures for the aircraft will have been probably to be half of what I have.
Mm-hmm.
And the avionics that we have put in place, we probably will have to be, I would say, 70% less of what we put on.
Wow.
And that little panel that I have that allows you to change the lighting for the passenger stuff, in 2020, most likely I will have to not put it there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This aircraft amount of polygons is very close to what you will have on our airliner.
Mm-hmm.
On 2020, I will have to cut that in half, so you will have a lot of, I don't know. For example, the windows will not be that round. It will have to be much different. So we were able to push this much further because we said, forget about backward technology. Let's just embrace everything. Now let's talk about flight modeling.
Mm-hmm.
2024 came with new concepts, especially after SUE3, where it allows you to enable inertia on the aircraft. And there is this guy displaying all these on the developer forums for us, where they redesigned the entire way the inertia is done.
Mm-hmm.
If you hook up into it. So if you imagine a fluid on the space, so you have a cube, and you imagine there is fluid inside. If you enable the things, it's like the plane is going through the fluid, which is air. So it reacts to it. Okay? And this is why a lot of people are now experiencing things like the plane is so nice to land when the wind is calm, but then when the crosswind is about 30 something,
Mm-hmm.
wow, it's hard. Yes, because that's how it is in the real world. The aircraft Embraer says is the maximum X-wing component is 28 knots.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying that you want to land there at 40 knots? Well, good luck, mate. You know, a real pilot will say, we can't land there, we're going to go. They will attempt up to 30
Mm-hmm.
because they know that 28 is the borderline. So they will go 20, 29, 30, 32, but they will not go for 35. You're going to run out of rudder.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not enough. So it's not the rudder, it's not made of paper. I read those comments. The rudder is made of metal, but it is a light jet, and the certified landing crosswind is not 35, it's not 40, it's not 50, it's 28. Right? This is what matters success. And all this new tech is being put on into the system, so you have that fluid dynamics. So if you know how to enable that mode. You know that you can put like a curve that shows you how the air goes around. This aircraft, because it's all made 24 native, it will react to all the fluid dynamics that ASO had put on SUE5. So the turbulence that they are modeling between buildings, with helicopters, with the air traffic, affects the aircraft,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it goes through the airframe. And all that is things that we are going 2024 only. So that helped us when they enabled the new inertia, because I was struggling to get the aircraft to land as it does real life. The aircraft is full stall speed, clean, is around 98 knots. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's how when you feel a stall on the wings, right? And you're landing this plane at 115, 120 knots sometimes. That is what? 30 knots above the stall speed? So on the first flight model we were doing, we were floating like half a runway. Because, and then what we do with this, how I fix it. And inertia fix it. Because in the real world, that's how they're landing. They're coming with inertia of the plane, and then they flare, and the inertia keeps going towards the ground, and you just slowing down that inertia until you plant it on the runway 150, 100 feet per minute, and then the spoilers come on, and that removes the flow, and now the nose goes down. We nailed that because the inertia, new dynamics that we have on 2024, and it works. So
and that's the challenge for the real world pilots. I mean, on that initial touchdown on the main gear, their next job is actually fighting that nose wheel from dropping fast. Their job is now controlling the nose wheel coming down because of that inertia.
Yeah, and because the spoilers are just shocking the wings, and it's going to make you pitch down. So the real technique of the explained to me by the pilots is that they do a double flare. Basically, they're flaring first at 3 degrees to avoid floating, so the inertia gets it on the runway. And then as soon as they feel, the different difficulty we have is that in a Microsoft Flight Sim, you don't feel, right? You don't feel that ground touchdown. You don't get a bump, but they do. So when they feel that the plane has touched down, they pull the yoke again. And then they do another flare to 5. So they keep the plane now with the spoilers up, on the ground, nose up, and then slowly go down. And that's why the airplane doesn't swerve, because the nose hasn't hit the ground. The nose is linked to the rudder. So you are rooting right to the crab and then control the wing with the nose wheel already down. You're gonna swirl because the wheel is moving, right? So that's why they do a double flare. So they land, touchdown, flare again, and slowly put it down, and then they start applying brakes. Those brakes, because the inertia, push the front wheel harder on the ground, and therefore you don't swell as much. So I hear a lot like, oh, it's a little bit tippy. Yeah, because you're touching too soon with the front wheel. You need to wait a little bit. You know, you're coming 125 knots, and then you plant 3 wheels at the same time, and then you feel the wind suddenly on the runway, and you start pushing your rudder left and round. You're moving the wheel too. So you have to do the double flare. This is explained in the manual, but I took my time to write it.
and even with the brakes as well, because that's something else people will when it comes to speed brakes or spoilers, it's not a straightforward thing either. I mean, in the aircraft you can have them set to auto.
Well, okay. So what happened with the spoilers is that the spoilers is not something that you can just deploy all the time. That's not how it works on the real aircraft either.
Yeah.
The spoilers, they have 2 modes. You have the ground mode and they have the air mode. On the ground, they're inhibited. You can't do anything. You cannot just say open, close it. No, that doesn't work. Okay. The aircraft will deploy them automatically when you're above 50 knots. So when you touch down and your throttles are idle, it will deploy the spoilers for you automatically. Doesn't matter where you have the switch. Okay, the switch is open, close, but that only works when you're on the air. However, because they are so powerful, you could stall the plane. The spoilers are inhibited as well. You have the flats down, and this is how a lot of accidents has happened on Phenoms, because the pilots are coming to land too fast, right? And they have the flats down, and they put the spoiler open position thinking that's going to help them to slow down, and they forget that they are inhibit. They will not come up.
Mm-hmm.
They stay down because your flaps are down, and if the spoiler come out, you could stall the plane because it just slowed you too fast.
Yeah.
So you have to control the power of the aircraft on landing very carefully. Most of the streams I've watched, the guys are doing a very good job because they did read the manual, and then they are slowing down their and that's why you get in the cast. It says, spoiler disengage. It doesn't work. It's telling you. You're telling me to deploy the spoiler. I'm not going to deploy the spoiler for you because you are on the ground and you are below 50 knots.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are setting up the axis, some people that want to have axis for the spoilers, it's better to do a toggle that goes between open and down rather than extend and retreat, because that's not how it works. For example, you could open the spoilers at 200 knots, right? And they come up. And then you put flap 1, they will go down. The computer goes down. So you do not have control into extend or close the spoilers on this plane. That's not how it works. It's a toggle. You tell the computer, I want an open. And the computer is going to say, well, you can't. So it will override you and then tells you on the ACAS, look, we have a button disengage because you're telling me to open them, but you can't. It's not safe or it's not allowed, right? So we did open in our Discord server a little bit of discussion of this, and now we're teaching the guys how to configure the axis as a toggle. And once they understand that it doesn't deploy in the ground, they realize that they were configuring the axis right. It's just it will not deploy until you're in the air. Yeah. It's better to go flying and play with your axis of the spoilers above 200 knots with no flaps, and then you can see if it's working or not.
There was a question then as well. A lot of questions came in relation to the auto throttle. And if that was something that you would have a look at. I know at the time there's certainly
that's the question that drives me insane. So basically what's happening is this. There were a couple of Phenoms online on the year 2025 that got the test auto throttles and they were showcasing them, right? And there were a couple of Phenoms that had a custom solution auto throttle. That is not the one that Embraer is deploying. So people are saying, why you did the auto throttle when I can see a video that someone has it? That's not the Embraer system, number one. And if it was the Embraer system, it was the beta test alphas that they were doing. They started deploying the auto throttles on January 2026. Guys, it's May.
5 months ago, yeah.
Okay, so that deployment means that the operators started receiving the auto throttle system, but guess what? It's locked because they're training. So I started fetching data about this auto throttle since November 2025, all the way to April to try to fit it. I got zero data about the system, absolutely zero. There is nothing. No one can tell me how it works, how it operates, nothing. I have 5 pilots of these captains of Phenoms on the beta team. None of them know how it works. None of them go. Any documentation they could share with me behind the scenes, to know. I have some friends at Embraer, I can't say who, and they could not give me the documentation of the auto throttle either. So unless someone can conjure some witchcraft and give me the documentation, I'm more than happy to code it. It will be fitted as an update. But at the moment, I don't know what to do with it. I mean, what is worse, to make up something? It's just some people. It's very hard for people to understand that that's not how I work. I can't make something that I have no data for it. It's just not how I work, because then you're gonna have something unreal. It's better to wait until we have the data and then we make it. As simple as that. It's not gonna be a free update. There's no need to worry.
No, it's interesting. Like, again, I mean, it's you're standing by your product, as you say. I mean, you can witchcraft, you can make something, but that's not going to be true to the product.
That's not going to be true.
You know what I mean? So it's better. Well, in your case, I mean, you're keeping this as the way you want it, and that's to give you the most, realistic experience of this aircraft as you can within a flight sim.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean that we're not going to add it later. Yeah, we will. Give me the data. I'm telling everybody, go and find me the data. Then when I say that, and they just start trying. We even have one customer. He's a pilot of one of the operators that have them, and he told us it's locked down. We're just getting the training for it right now. We cannot use it yet. That's how new this is, you know. So we have to wait until that is not the case, and then fine, we put on. All full out throttle is you feel like you cannot fly the plane yourself. Have fun, guys. Come on. You have a full FADEC right now. Got full whack into it and enjoy it.
What's your favorite feature of this aircraft, Raul? I mean, you know, we mentioned earlier on, I mean, flight simming. I mean, you flight sim, right?
Yeah.
We're all very passionate about this hobby, and from the developer side is one thing, but as a flight simmer, I mean, what is your most favorite piece of this product?
The favorite piece was when I think when I start tweaking the landings, because they tell me, oh, it's 28 knots crosswind. But there is a problem on Microsoft Flight Simulator that people don't know, where the winds are injecting gradients. So if you set up 28 knots for your test, you're really injecting 14 rather than 28 on the ground. So it's 28 in the air and 14 on the ground. And I didn't know that until very late. So I thought I had it all nailed down. And, you know, here I am practicing with 28 knots in the air. And the technique is to decrab and then land and then get it straight and nailing it. Oh, perfect. And for me, it didn't swabble, nothing. And then I contacted artists to start doing liveries. 60 days pre-release, I contacted them and given access to it. So I wanted the community to have liveries ready by the time of release. And then one of them told me, I can't take off this thing. I said, why? Well, I was with live weather on Terboro, and there was 32 josts, and I just run out of rudder. I'm like, how you can run out of rudder? I remember Brian telling me that you have 20% rudder left at 28 knots. You must be okay. So I put again my own test. I put the 28 knots. I do the takeoff, do a video for him. I say, I'm taking off fine. Look. I said to him, well, what's with live weather? I'm like, okay, could be something here. And then we found out the post on SO forums where it says, no, it's gradient. So it turns out I have to put 56 wind on the air to get 28 on the ground. And yeah, I ran out rather. So I have to redo it.
Okay.
However, I didn't know how to tweak it so I could have 28 in the air and 28 on the ground. It does that only with live weather. I couldn't find a place. So I ended up having to have 56 on the air and 28 on the ground. I have to land it like that to test it. It took me weeks. And I managed, at some point I was so good at it that I will not swivel, even like this. So I started teasing then James and Brian that I was landing better than them. Because I was able to hold it on the air with 56 and then in the ground 28. Then we found out there is a way to do the gradient, this and that. So the landings are very good. To me, it's one of the most challenges because most people land their aircraft on their liners with the wind. They touch down and they decrab. And I was told very earlier that you don't do that in this plane because it breaks the gears. That's one set of failures that's coming later on.
Okay.
When people learn how to plan it. Basically, you have to flare around 40 and align the plane to the vectors, the crabbing before that, and then you touch down. And that's how I've been doing it. And you land like that, is swivel much less. Provided that you do it, hold the nose, and then you slow down, then you start braking. Then it's very stable.
Okay.
And the trick is because you have the crab prior to the touchdown, you know how much rudder is keeping it straight, right? So if you keep the same force, it just stays straight on the runway. It doesn't swivel.
Okay. I see a question here from Hey It's Lazy, just asking about the EFB. Hey It's Lazy, let us know what is not working for you. Like the EFB control, if you right click, it resets it. Your left mouse click, that's how you can drag it and move it around. I don't know, Raul, are you aware of any issues with the movement of the EFB?
I think what happened is that the click spot on the EFB is too long So people want to touch the shades, and they're touching the, and they're touching the EFP.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so maybe you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what's happening, I believe. That is too far. You see? So maybe make it shorter so they don't click on it. But my advice to people is to, if they're not going to use it, to hide it, right? Because you click the pocket,
Mhm.
the pocket downstairs, the pocket of the where the tablet is.
Yeah.
It will hide it immediately,
Mhm.
so you don't have to but mistakenly touch it. You see, that's it. You're done with it. Just hide it, and you need it again, then pop it up.
Yeah, no, I gotta say, like from all the features, to how it flies, the sounds as well. The sounds are spectacular. It's Raul, you've done such an incredible job, and like Jesus, I was looking at your Discord over the last couple of days, and like I saw you make a comment. People were asking questions and all the rest, and I saw this comment from you, and I said that is so Raul. That is just so Raul. You were like, guys, I haven't had my dinner yet. Can I take 20 minutes?
Well, charge them for support.
Yeah, right. That's the premium support coming soon. Yeah. I just like, I've said this to you so many times before. Like, it's great to see more folks getting passionate about what goes on in flight sim, but you are without a shadow of a doubt the inspiration, because there is no one as passionate when it comes to creating these experiences for your customers. There isn't anyone else there with it, and we're starting to see more developers care, and it's great because there's divine inspiration there. They're getting the idea to say, hang on, this is actually just a nicer way to be dealing with people, right? But it's incredible to see, and like here we are, 3 days, 4 days after a release that's already received patch number 1. You got patch 2 already to deploy, and you're already forward thinking here. And this is still before Expo, and your plan: get the next couple of days, get Expo over and done with. You've already started the process of looking at consoles. Explain to us that incredible story and as to why the consoles are so important to you. And you're running 5 or 6 other projects in the background as well. Like it's incredible.
First party.
And your first party, right? So like, what did you do this year? Like, there's going to be some kind of speech at the end of the year,
Yeah, after the console is out on August, I'm gonna take a time with me with my daughter. But by then, a lot of features that we're talking about will be out. It's not workaholic. It's just that I care. I get really worried that someone put the trust in me with their hard working money because they want to have a dream, and then they have an issue. Most of them are because they are very keen to get into the jet. They don't understand how deep this goes. I get it. Still, they deserve an answer so they can have the enjoyment that I'm planning, right? I did all these because for them. So it makes no sense that you put all this hard work for 3 years and then someone doesn't understand why the aircon is not working, and you leave them hanging there for 5 days and they're unable to use it. I just can't. It just drives me bananas. It's not within me. My objective is that they bought it, they start using it, and they have a smile. That's what I want. So I do the best I can towards that goal. Otherwise, what's the whole point? You went 3 years working hard for what then? To just disappear and then leave them there upset? No, it's not what I am about. So this is why we train Jenny. My fabulous Jenny in Discord. I don't know what we have done without her for this release, to be frank. She's been very helpful. I mean, of course, there are certain things she doesn't know, but I would say that she have handled 60-70% of the load, despite that we're there answering question. Yes, it's next month. Thank you for reminding me about M600. I was working on that all day, by the way. So the objective is that answering as fast as possible to people. I want them to be happy. I don't want them to be upset. This is normal during new releases, because you get those people that are really keen to get into the jet immediately. Then it slows down a little bit. So I hope in the next 2 weeks the workload will be much less in terms of that, which is why I wanted to do it now rather than too close to FS Expo. Right? It's not ideal. This was the right date. It was if I couldn't do it by the 18th of May, I would have had to wait until I'm back.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
Because people deserve this. People deserve that after a product is out, you are there for the next 72 hours to probably a little bit 120 hours after release. You have to be available for them. And then what happens is you build a community that understand how to use the product, and then it becomes self-serve.
Yeah.
I know that by next Saturday, anyone that comes with the same questions, our loyal customers in there will now understand that I've been there, and then they will answer the questions because they learn it.
Yeah.
And we always reward those users that doesn't go unseen and paying attention who is answering and who is helping, and they get rewards. Many of my long-term beta testers have been those guys, and they remain with the family for years. Can you believe that there is a beta tester that have been with me since 2017?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. 2017, Jesus.
Yes, when we were doing special effects for P3D, he joined.
Wow.
And he's still there. Some of them become friends, and we met. We were 7-8 of us on React last year. You know, got tickets for all of us, and we went there and then met, and then it was just wonderful.
That's incredible.
So yeah, you have to be there for customers. You know, I want to inflict change into the flight sim community. I think the flight sim community has been plagued by a lot of negativity, and that negativity, in my opinion, is in my opinion only, is coming from how we're treating customers. So we're alienating our own community in a way, and therefore they're predisposed. So instead of, I think they're losing the sight that there are actually people that care, that there are actually developers out there that are incredible. You were talking about a lot of them on the news. Those guys on .to doing those utilities, all the kind of thing. That's how I started. Those guys care. And the community has been plagued by so many bad experiences that they are going at developers like that are just starting with kind of the wrong attitude sometimes. And those guys are just giving up because they think, oh my God. You know, so I'm trying to build a community that is actually built around being positive and value the guys that are there for them. And so the only way to do that is being there for them. That's what the whole concept is. All my mods understand what I mean, and they do the best for that. So we're trying to grow our community on Discord around that kind of values. Be nice to each other all the time. If you are nice, you get rewarded with amazing features. If you try to come at us with a wrong attitude, we try to steer you away from it in the most positive way that we can. Some of them you can't. It is what it is. But we have to try. I believe in change inflicting to the community because you inflict change. And that's what we're trying to do here. You need 3 things for that. You need to deliver the best quality you can so you can reset the mindset that not everything out there is bad. Then you need to treat them the best way you can so that you can reset the mindset that, okay, so it's not normal that someone told me RTFM. Actually, there is another way that exists where people actually help me. And then the third way is, if you are receiving that from us, we're expecting you to be nice to us, right? The most positive energy you give me on Discord, the crazy stuff I'm gonna make. Because then I feel encouraged. Oh my God, they loved it.
Of course.
Okay, I can do it. So you imagine we're a symbiosis, right? You have to be a positive reinforcement both ways. It's a bridge, right? So and a lot of people are telling me, how are you keeping your Discord server so clean? I never see in the stuff that I see in other places. And I said, well, I don't know, I must be doing something right. Maybe it's that. Maybe that's the solution, right? And that's what we want. We want that. I want actually people to feel like they see me at FS Expo and they can say, Raul, how are you? And I will be absolutely delighted to sit and talk to them like I am talking to you for hours. That, I'm not an alien or something, that because I managed to do some aircraft, I'm not a human like you. I'm more than happy to meet people and talk to them down to earth, and then just somehow manage to inspire them more into the hobby. I mean, and that's what we are about. That's my concept. That's how I'm building the community. And the guys around me, the mods and everything, they've been sticking around that concept for now years, because they see that change, and then with those discussions internally, when we say, have you seen what they told this guy on this Discord server? Look, they show me screenshots.
Jeez.
I get disgusted.
Yeah. It goes on. It goes on.
Why they're telling these things, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. It should be a little bit more mindful that, I don't know, maybe I have a skill set that I can put myself in the other side of the coin of a person. If you were having such a bad week at work, like it happened to my daily job sometimes, and then you come home and you want to start up your aircraft and the engines are not starting up, you're going to be grumpy. You're going to be pissed off, right? And then, of course, you're going to come on the server and say, I can't start my engines. I have to be mindful of that and try to understand you and then help you and then switch and help you to achieve what I want. Is experience. I want you to forget about your problems at work and actually be happy. And you can't do that with a wrong attitude, right? You have to find the attitude to be able to do that. It's hard sometimes. Some people are really
they'll try it. They'll try it for sure. But no, I agree. Listen, I live by the same rule set. I mean, it's nice to be nice. That's what it comes down to. And like, yes, people are people, right? We can all have a bad day. Like it comes with the territory. But one thing I can say, like 100% across the board. I mean, my enjoyment with it, the feedback from my own community from it, from me watching everyone else fly it, this has been such a welcomed addition to our hobby, not just from the FBOs, which are fantastic, but from the aircraft though as well. Like this is incredible. It is such it's a breath of fresh air, because it's as you clearly showed us tonight. It's that logic, the thinking. And the passion behind this, the care that you put into this, it is refreshing for us to see it. But the thing is just so good as well. I mean, that's why we like it. And for anyone that was having issues, you
have to make something good to be able to vouch for what we're saying. Otherwise, it doesn't work, right?
100%.
You have to have the words and the action.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great, and then it never happens. But no, like I mean,
they never happen. Yeah. Imagine, right?
Like this one that I have here. This is the third patch, which is going to be available later on Thursday. And then we've already seen a feature tonight. If anyone's missed it, I'll drag it up here again, because it was like this is just like I will do this in the background and say nothing to no one. Sure, it'll be grand, and we'll just make this now and release it. So like this is currently being worked on in the background, which is going to allow you to be able to tow the aircraft, move the aircraft, put it where you want, inside your FBO, out of it, the hangar, all that jazz. And there's other features that you're working on. You haven't alluded to those yet tonight, but there are other things you're working on and you want to bring to this project. And of course, the next few weeks is going to be busy. I mean, we have Expo and what? It's less than a month now. And anyone going
I'm about to finish my first party commitment.
You can let the hair down at Expo, yeah.
A lot of stuff, and then I have to travel, and then all sort of things. But the whole point is that there is a lot of stuff planned for the aircraft, more features coming. If you like what you're seeing, you're going to be mind blown probably in 6 months of what this thing is going to do, because we're going to keep adding more and more. And the concept is that we're adding more because we're going to use it for other products. Okay?
Yeah.
Imagine, open your mind. Okay, this guy put those anchors here. Okay, now I bring you a chipmunk, and imagine that you have buildings related to that aircraft. At the time that it was built.
Nice.
Nice.
The scope of this, Raul, is like it's massive Do you know, it changes what the flight sim can actually do. And like, if something like that, like Microsoft changed the goalpost a little bit when they gave us this avatar mode, because all of a sudden now you can actually focus and explore the world walking around.
That's it.
And that's changed the logic a little bit, because now you can explore things and you want to hang out with people, and you need that sense of ownership because, well, hey, check out my FBO, or check out my crib, or check out my,
the stuff that we're building shapes as well Microsoft Flight Sim, I'm sure. Because I remember showing these pictures of these buildings to someone at Microsoft, and they were like, they emailed me a couple of days later saying, I can't thinking about what you just did. and that was just before.
You did
right?
what to our sim?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that this is going to allow me to have certain discussions to obtain a better canvas to keep painting. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So and that's what it is. Sometimes you have to show things working and show how the community react to it, so you can have those discussions, and that's something I plan to do. So I expect improvements on many things as going. So we're gonna keep improving and keep doing crazy things. I can't wait for you guys to eventually see. It will take a while, but eventually you will see our liner from FSReborn on the FSR level, and that's what is gonna happen. And yes, don't get stressed. I'm not going to abandon GA. We're doing things on the background that we always continue to have GA, but I need to span all the horizons, because it's about bringing the experience to everybody, right?
Yeah.
We want to bring the experience about our liners, the experience about ultralights, the experience about turboprops, the experience is about private jets, experience is about all the things that I have in mind that is not related just to planes. It's some things that are going to go in motion. When we come out with what we're going to do, I know it's going to blow people's mind as well, because it's a different add-on I'm going to make. There are some people asking me that if I'm planning to sell this FBO outside of the aircraft. At the moment, I'm not planning to do that. At the moment, this was developed testing the waters in a way of experience. And the reaction about the experience is what you're seeing. That's what you want in everyone else. I need to expand it much more before I start thinking to kind of things and complete it, because we have to set a release date, and we haven't finished all the things that we have planned for this SBOs. You see the tip of the iceberg here, right? So once we get that, maybe I will start considering those things. But at the moment, it's going to be, for sure, we can extend it to the entire fleet. For sure, we can extend it that you're going to share your FBO with other people and be able to import, export them. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do, Roman, in terms of logos, so I can send something to the consoles. I'm not sure yet what I can do. It's something like, it doesn't let me sleep, because I know that they are looking at all the amazing things that people are doing with the custom companies. And obviously, you can't install mods on a console. So that's a limitation I have, and I'm thinking very hard what I can do. But at the very least, we will think something eventually. But I don't want to hold up their release because of that, right? So
yeah,
they will see the FBOs initially, and then they can hide the logo or put the FSReborn logo. But very much, I'm thinking about it. It's not like I'm giving up. I never give up. A lot of people shut the door in my face. You will never be able to make airplanes. Here I am today, 2026. Just wait until I do my R-liner, and we'll have another chat.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, listen, I mean, dev work continues for you, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe you have a few hours off now. I don't think so. I imagine dev work continues for you.
It's not 3 a.m. yet, right? So.
You still got time, but definitely looking forward to seeing you at FS Expo. And it just Raul, just a resounding massive congratulations for the release of this aircraft now. And I think it's, for those who have been familiar with FSReborn over the years and have flown your products, or maybe folks who are aware of the company were just never into general aviation, this is a lovely bridge now between the whole airliner into general aviation. I think a lot more folks folks have now kind of rambled in just to see what FSReborn is capable of doing, which it's here we are with a plethora of world firsts that we've ever had in the sim. I've seen it before. I mean, your very first aircraft you did, you were like, yeah, I'm going to build like a ballistic parachute. You were the first one to do it. And here we are now with everything that goes on here. It is quite remarkable, the dedication and just the skills, and it's a pleasure to see it in our hobby, because as you said, you make experiences. That is your objective. You want to make that experience, and I can tell you from my 100% that experience is felt. This puts a smile on my face, and you see the FBO, and like that you have a backdrop and you can plop your own FBO in and sit in your virtual hot tub, right? I mean, where could you get it? It's fantastic. So I think I speak for everyone in here when we say, listen, just thank you for being you and for bringing this thing to us as flight simmers. It's incredible.
Well, everyone is very welcome, and I am very pleased that you guys like it. To be honest, I haven't been looking at reviews or other streamers or anything. I've been just focusing on being sure that people were happy. That's what I've been focusing on the last 72 hours. Mm-hmm. I will have some time probably later when I'm on the plane to FS Expo to read reviews about it, and then or something. But the reactions on my Discord, it seems to be that people are pleased now with the patch and they are very happy with what they're seeing. I think it has been a little bit of a shock for them how realistic it is. They weren't expecting something like that. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh, wow, I can only start the plane because there is tailwind. Yeah, that's what happens. But I think it has been a very good welcome. That's what I believe. Hope that it continues like that. And then, yeah, I forgot to say, I've been keeping secret of who did the sounds because I wanted to remove any biases of, a lot of people say, oh, who did the sound, this and that. Mm-hmm. So what you guys think about the sounds? Let's talk about that a little bit before I go.
Sounds are good? Excellent. Sounds are excellent.
Okay. I have people that operate this plane on the ramp and they're saying that they are one of the best sounds I ever heard. Mm-hmm. And that they are absolutely nailed down to what I hear when the aircraft is upside and everything. And the sounds were done with Echo 19 Tyler, who recorded from the real aircraft, and then worked with the internal team. And we were working endlessly with him to match it. Even when you record the things from the real aircraft, there is always some difference. Mm-hmm. And as soon as the real pilots heard the first version, then we nailed it. Tyler, he remembers, he's in the chat. And then he was like, oh, okay. So we give him feedback, very strong feedback. And then he came with version 2, then he came with version 3, then he came with version 4. When he did version 5, we were, well, that's it. That's the one. And then he said, I remember that night when he says, you are incredible. The feedback and the way that you were telling me what to change, what to do was just so good that this is the best job I have done so far. Wow. And we were very proud that night, because the entire team, 25 guys, were like, this is it, this is perfect. I remember we were nailing like YouTube videos of an engine start. I have one video of an engine start, which puts the engine on the corner exactly as you have it on the action cameras I put in.
Oh yeah.
It's exactly that because I did that exactly to compare the YouTube video like for like, and we nailed 100%.
Wow! So
that's how the sounds were. So it was absolutely great.
That's amazing.
And I'm very proud of the sound. I think they are very, very, very good.
Sounds are excellent. They really are. The flyby sounds as well, and it's gas. Like I mean, you talk about passion in this as well. I mean, Tyler, we remember from many moons ago with his first products coming out, and we've seen now just he's involved with so many things now because the quality is just superb. And it's great to see. So yeah, that's awesome news. They're incredible sounds. Everything about this product, Raul, is it's just incredible. It really is. And like, is there room for improvement? As you would say, of course there is. There's further
Always.
development. There's more things you want to bring to it. But you know, and like that must have been difficult. You know, drawing a line in the sand to say, right,
Yes.
stop development. This is the release. We'll do more later. Like that
And
must
it's a
be
lot
hard.
of things that happened. Like 3 weeks ago, there were pending things to do, and you have so much work in your head that you have to prioritize. So I said, this is what we're doing. Look at this is what we're doing.
Mhm.
No, but James is telling me that the auto warning. I don't care about the autos right now. Finish this because I have someone waiting to record a trailer, and if we don't have that, we cannot do it. Forget about the autos. The autos we can do at the end. He's not going to record the autos. And it was like this, and there were things that you skip. Today, I realized that I never coded the dome light. You know, it's embarrassing. I didn't. A guy said, an AI smasher in the Discord said, "Oh my God, how you can make a decision not doing the dome light?" I told him, "Dude, I forgot. What do you want me to do? I'm a human. Do a forum ticket. I will code it, right?" And then now we're internally asking the pilots, "Can you give me a screenshot of this light operating the airplane?" And 5 of them told me, "I don't have one. I don't have one. I don't have one." I said, "Well, no wonder I didn't do it. You could never send the picture, right?" Things happen. Things happen, but the important thing is that I'm not disappearing. I'm here, right? So you know, you have a suggestion, just fill it in, and we'll schedule it and then do it. It's not like in other places where you're going to be told no, it's not happening. Now, if I cannot do it for any reason, like there is a limitation, then we would say so. Oh, sorry guys, that's not going to be possible. But if it's something that we can do, I patch it next day, didn't I? So.
Brilliant. It's brilliant. Love it. Absolutely love it. So the next few days for you, hopefully you get a bit of rest, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you deserve it for only a little bit
sure.
now, right? Then we have Expo, and looking forward. And anyone going to Expo, make sure you'll see Raul there. You'll be walking around, and yeah.
Feel free to say hi. If you catch me at the coffee shop, I might buy you a coffee.
I think they'll be buying you the coffee for sure. But listen, Raul, a massive thank you for taking time out of your schedule and just to come here and explain to us some of the backstory into making this. It is fascinating, and like as I said, I'm blown away by seeing what's achievable. When it comes to the realism, the failures, the FBOs, the passenger interactions, there's so much going on with this add-on. It's friggin' awesome, and it's great to see. So. Absolute legendary stuff, and get some well-deserved rest. And it's next up will be Expo.
Yeah, so you all at Expo.
We'll be there at Expo.
Or on my paid premium support Discord version, which we will talk about this.
It'll be genius. All right. Right, well, listen, mate, I'll let you go, but thank you very, very much indeed, and we'll chat to you very soon.
All right, then.
Take care.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right. So that was Raul from FSReborn. You'd listen to Raul all day. He's just his perspective on things, his understanding, and as I said, it is so very refreshing when you have a developer who's just so focused on customers. That's it. It's the experience. Number one, that's it. That is what we need to do. It's great to see that. And as I said, there are other developers following suit as well. It's great. I love seeing that in our hobby, which is just incredible. So a massive thanks to Raul for joining us this evening. Guys, your support tonight has been nothing short of absolutely mad. A massive thank you to everyone for tuning in. And don't forget, you can check out Raul's Discord for FSReborn. I'll pop it into the chat. And you'll find all the details on the FSReborn website as well. Still on, Mr. TVHI, still on. But right, lads, massive thanks. Tomorrow we're streaming at 1000 Zulu. We're going to be showing off the BO-105. That's the upcoming aircraft from Miltech and and from Strato as well. So we're having a look at that in the morning. Tomorrow night we have ourselves a VATSIM flight. We're going to be taking the Phenom out for its first VATSIM flight. Looking forward to that one. And then we have a group flight coming in on Friday, and we have another live stream on Saturday morning coming to you from the RDS in Dublin. That'll be early bells on Saturday morning. I'll be up there. But massive thanks again to Raul at FSReborn and from everyone here in the chat tonight. Absolute crazy support. Thank you so very, very much indeed. We'll see us all in the morning in a couple of hours' time. So until then, have a lovely evening. I'm sure we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Time to turn. And we'll start advancing that mixture back in here now shortly. Come on, prop.
Sink rate.
You're all right.
Sink rate. Up. Sink rate.
Give us a bit of air in the nose there. Nearly. Come on, Betsy, you can do it. We need the wind. Oh, bother. We need more speed. This isn't dangerous at all. 110, 120. Mixture in. The mixture's in. Come on. She doesn't want to play. She nearly got there. Hang on now. Easy. There she goes. Jesus. If it didn't kick off, lads, I would have died immediately. Microsoft, it's Murph. Someone clip this, if you can. Do you hear the sounds? I've been blaming aircraft developers. Asobo or Microsoft need to fix this. Do you hear the noise? Outside the plane? You need to fix that, lads. It's the... Over there. Oh, sweet, something there! Ah, Jesus! Medic! There's nothing to
Look
see.
at this big Jesus.
Jesus.
There's nothing to see. No. There's nothing to see at all.
Who hit someone? I mean, come on!